Chapter 23-22. You're inviting Wang Xinyan to your house. Lin Yi's expression was a little weird. The miss was inviting Wang Xinyan to her house. Why did it feel so weird? You're gone. There's no point in staying at home, so I invited her. I don't have any other intentions. The miss was a smart girl, but she was too worried about Lin Yi's well-being. Saying something like that would make it seem like she was hiding something. Let's not talk about that first. Let's talk about Xinyan's kidnapping first, yeah. Lin Yi was concerned about Xinyan as well, but he was sure that everything was fine now, so he wasn't too worried. At that time, Wu Qintian went after the kidnappers. Meng Yao said as she told Lin Yi about how Qintian was injured, and how Old Pai came to help. Wu Qintian was injured. Old Pai was injured as well? Lin Yi frowned. The two weren't in life-threatening danger, so Lin Yi wasn't too worried. What he was worried about was who the enemy was, to be able to injure Old Pai. With that thought, Lin Yi was eager to go home. I'll go back as soon as I'm done here. Right, what did Ling Shan say about the kidnappers? There's no news from Ling Shan, sis. She'll call me as soon as she hears anything, Meng Yao said. Meng Yao said. But even though the kidnappers were caught, there were still a few more kidnappings happening in Donghai, and the victims were all students with some money. So it seems like Xinyan's kidnapping was a bit of a coincidence. I heard that there was a gangster whose daughter was kidnapped as well. The golden class bodyguard he assigned to his daughter was injured as well. Oh. Could it be a coincidence? Lin Yi calmed down a little after hearing that. It wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't targeted at him and Xinyan, but it seemed like it was more of a coincidence. After all, there were a lot of people who were kidnapped as well. It's possible, but Xinyan's been a lot more careful these days. She's been staying at school, and I don't dare ask her out anymore. Meng Yao said. I understand, I'll be back soon. Tell Qintian and Elder Pai not to worry, I'll heal them when I get back. Also, send that Pai Zhihai to the villa, I'll heal him too, Lin Yi said. Alright, I'll tell them now. Meng Yao spoke to Lin Yi on the phone, and knowing that Lin Yi's matter was over, she felt much more at ease. She turned around and left the room to tell Qintian, Pai Zhishan, and Elder Pai the good news. But when he turned around, he saw Yushu. Yao Yao, you're so mean, calling Shield Bro behind my back. Yushu put her hands on her waist and giggled behind Meng Yao. Shu. When did you come in? Meng Yao jumped in fright. She was too excited to even notice that someone had entered the room. Just now, I came in when you were talking to Shield Bro, Yushu said, so Yao Yao still likes Shield Bro, you look so happy when Shield Bro called. Did I? Meng Yao blinked. How could Yushu see her when she was behind her? She raged, you lied to me? Watch how I punish you. Ah. Don't. Hurry up and tell Qintian and the others the good news. Yushu turned and ran away. Meng Yao blushed as she looked at Yushu's back. She touched her burning cheeks. Was she really that happy just now? It did seem like it. Lin Yi's call swept away all the frustrations she'd been feeling for the past few days. But it was all because of the things at home. What did it have to do with her liking Lin Yi? Right, it shouldn't. Meng Yao turned around and left the room to tell Qintian and the others the good news. Qintian had long since guessed that the day Lin Yi came back would be the day he'd fully recover, so he wasn't too happy or sad about it. But Pai Zhishan and Elder Pai were different. Meng Yao said that she'd been in contact with Lin Yi these days, but Lin Yi didn't give them a definite answer. He didn't know when he'd come back, or if he could save them. Today, however, Lin Yi had Elder Pai bring Pai Zhihai over as well. This meant that Lin Yi agreed to treat Zhihai. Elder Pai was very excited. Even if his injuries couldn't be healed, he'd accept it if he could cure Zhihai. Plus, Lin Yi said that his and Qintian's injuries weren't a problem. Thank you for talking to Mr. Lin, Miss Chu. Elder Pai quickly thanked. I'll have someone send Jihai over now. Okay, you guys get ready. I'll be going back to my room to rest, Meng Yao relayed the news and breathed out in relief. At Qing Run City's XX Hotel, Dafeng Bro had rushed over, but when he entered Lin Yi's room, he paused and said subconsciously, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong room. Dafeng Bro didn't know Sun Jingyi, and he didn't know Lin Yi without the thousand silk mask. That was why he thought he went to the wrong room. That's right, come in, Dafeng. Lin Yi said. Ah. Dafeng Bro froze when he heard Lin Yi's voice, but reacted quickly. He looked at Lin Yi in disbelief. You're Eagle Bro? Yes, Lin Yi nodded faintly. After Dafeng Bro got a definite answer, he quickly entered the room and closed the door. He said carefully, Eagle Bro, I've already reported what happened here to the Red Conch headquarters. My backer. But I didn't mention Eagle Bro's name. I only said that Feng Tianlong from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau invited external help and uprooted Fire Wolf Hotel, and he didn't ask you why your conch bar was fine? Lin Yi asked. He did. Dafeng Bro nodded. But I said that the Supernatural Investigation Bureau probably didn't find this clue, or else it wouldn't be fine, so he believed you? Lin Yi asked. Of course, he believed me. I was promoted by him, and I give him a lot of money every year. He's happy that I'm fine, and he's preparing to make me the boss here, Dafeng Bro said. I also revealed to him that I accidentally got a small qi gathering pill, but I didn't take it before because it wasn't the right time. Now that things are going well, I'll take it, and he'll be more confident. Chapter 23-23. Poison. Big Brother Feng was stunned. What's this poison for? Brother Ing, are you trying to poison me? That's not right. The poison won't kill you. You must take the antidote every year to suppress it. Otherwise, you will die from the pain. It will be more painful than the pain you experienced before, Lin Yi explained. Oh, okay. Big Brother Feng listened to Lin Yi's explanation and nodded. He took the poison pill from Lin Yi's hand without hesitation and swallowed it. It surprised Lin Yi. You ate it? Aren't you worried that I won't give you the antidote? Lin Yi asked in surprise. If I do my job well, why wouldn't Brother Ing give me the antidote? Big Brother Feng said calmly. In the future, I will do my best to help Brother Ing gather information and become the person in charge of the poison refining base. Brother Ing won't treat me badly. It's good that you think that way. Lin Yi nodded with satisfaction. If you do your best, I won't treat you badly in the future. You advancing to the early phase of Earth class is just the beginning. In the future, I will help you advance to the middle phase or even the late phase of Earth class. It's not impossible for you to step into Heaven class. Once Lin Yi became a Heaven class master, the people around him could all become Earth class masters at the peak of the late phase. This was not a joke. It was just that Lin Yi didn't expect Big Brother Feng to be so determined to work for him. This surprised Lin Yi a little. Previously, he showed his true face because he wanted to give Big Brother Feng the poison. In the future, Big Brother Feng would be his subordinate, so there was no need to hide. It would be easier to do things if Big Brother Feng knew his true identity. Now it seemed that Lin Yi had underestimated Brother Dafeng's ambition. This guy had a good eye. In fact, Big Brother Dafeng naturally had good eyesight. Lin Yi had crippled the third head, killed the third head's men, and came back alive and kicking. No matter how stupid Big Brother Dafeng was, he knew how capable Lin Yi was. Moreover, Lin Yi was really generous, giving him a small qi gathering pill. He had worked in the Red Conch for so many years, but he had never received such a good pill. Of course, on one hand, it was because there was no one in Red Conch who was good at alchemy. On the other hand, there were not many people who dared to use the biochemical drugs produced by the Fire Wolf gang. Apart from the Fire Wolf inheritance potion that was more mature and stable, the others were all experimental products. Who would dare to use them indiscriminately? As a result, Dafeng Bro felt that there wasn't much of a future in Red Conch, and that he might as well change bosses and follow Lin Yi. For a practitioner at his level, money wasn't important anymore, higher levels of strength were his life's goal. "Thank you, Brother Ing," Big Brother Feng said excitedly. "My real name is Lin Yi. When the small chi gathering pill arrives, I will leave. You can contact me directly in the future," Lin Yi said. "Lin Yi. Ah. You are Lin Yi." Big Brother Feng was shocked and jumped up from his chair. His eyes widened and he couldn't speak. "What's wrong?" Lin Yi frowned. "No. I heard that the secular house you was destroyed because they offended you, and the second head of the Red Conch was also captured by you." Big Brother Feng also knew some secrets. "The most important thing is that one of the Fire Wolf Gang's protectors was defeated by you." "Oh? You know quite a lot." "That's right, it's me," Lin Yi said. "Since you know all this and know the hatred between me, the Red Conch, and the Fire Wolf Gang, you should know what to do in the future, right?" "I understand. I will try my best to raise my position in the Red Conch and help you break through the enemy lines." Big Brother Feng patted his chest and promised. Lin Yi nodded. He'd successfully subdued Dafeng Bro, and he'd planted a nail in the Red Sea snail. Lin Yi also knew that he couldn't be in a hurry to find information about the pangolin. He had to do it step by step, especially since there was a Sky-class master in the Red Conch headquarters. Lin Yi had to be even more careful. Without a perfect plan, he couldn't act rashly. Although the third head of the Earth class was very weak and not even as strong as Taganlong, his Sky-class master, Lin Yi, couldn't underestimate him. 2 days later, Lin Yi received the small chi-gathering pill sent by Han Xiaopa. Lin Yi once again found Big Brother Feng and gave him the pill. At this time, Big Brother Feng had received the confirmation from his backer. If he really had the small chi-gathering pill and could successfully become an Earth-class master, then he could sit on the position of the head of the Red Conch branch. This news surprised and delighted Big Brother Feng, and the chi-gathering pill Lin Yi gave him made him even happier. Big Brother Feng didn't expect to become an Earth-class master so smoothly. At this moment, with the small chi-gathering pill in his hand, he already felt that he was about to break through. "Thank you, Brother Ing." Big Brother Feng bowed deeply to Lin Yi. "In the future, I won't hesitate to sacrifice my life for you. It's fine if you sacrifice your life for me. Protect yourself and don't die. I'm still counting on you to find someone," said Lin Yi. "Yes, don't worry, Brother Ing. I will hide my identity well," said Big Brother Feng quickly. "Don't reveal the photo I showed you before, but if there's a chance, help me find out if there's any news about this person in the poison refining base," said Lin Yi. "Okay." Big Brother Feng naturally carried out Lin Yi's orders firmly. "Okay, take care. I've given you the thing, I should go too." Lin Yi patted Big Brother Feng's shoulder. Lin Yi was worried about the situation at home, so it wasn't appropriate for him to stay for long. After saying goodbye to Big Brother Feng, Lin Yi drove the Grand Cherokee and headed home with Sun Jingyi. The return journey was smooth, and Lin Yi smoothly returned to Donghai City. He first sent Sun Jingyi to the hotel before Lin Yi drove back to the villa in the Shuashang district. Lin Yi didn't bring Sun Jingyi home directly. He had to discuss it with Faubert and Grandma Sun first. This was a serious matter, and he couldn't make the decision alone. When Lin Yi returned to the villa, it was daytime. Meng Yao and the others were in school, and only Grandma Sun, Wu Chintian, Pai Jishan, and Elder Pai were at home. Pai Jihai had just been sent to Donghai City, but he didn't stay in the villa. Instead, he stayed at the Shuashang Business Hotel nearby. After all, Elder Pai couldn't let everyone in the family stay at Lin Yi's house. Chapter 23-24. At this time. Who would be here? Could it be? Jishan's blood boiled at the thought of this possibility. He had been waiting for Lin Yi's return, and now, was Lin Yi really back? Lin Yi had promised to treat his grandpa and brother's wounds, but whether or not they could be healed was something Zhishan didn't know. Qintian looked calm, but he hadn't experienced it firsthand, and Zhishan was still worried. Now, Lin Yi was back, and it was time to witness a miracle. Zhishan quickly opened the door and saw Lin Yi standing beside a Jeep Cherokee, ringing the doorbell. "Boss, you're back." Zhishan quickly walked out and opened the iron gate for Lin Yi. "Boss, rest first, I'll help you park the car in the yard." "Alright, I'll leave it to you then," Lin Yi nodded. "How are your grandpa and Qintian?" "Their injuries are still the same." "Boss, do you want to go check on them later?" Zhishan got out of the car and parked it in the yard. "Let's go now." Lin Yi was worried about Qintian and Elder Pai's injuries on the way back. These two were injured while trying to save Xinyan, and Lin Yi couldn't just leave them be. Putting aside the fact that they were saving Xinyan because of him, and even if it wasn't because of him, he couldn't just sit by and watch as her savior got hurt, considering how much she'd helped him. "Okay." Zhishan was overjoyed. He thought that Lin Yi would rest for a bit after getting home, but he didn't expect Lin Yi to rush over to heal his grandpa and Qintian. After entering the villa, Grandma's son smiled and nodded to Lin Yi. "Mr. Lin, you're back. Do you need me to make you something to eat?" Lin Yi turned his head and looked at Grandma's son's smiling face. The more he looked, the more she looked like Sun Jingyi. He was even more sure of his guess. Before, Lin Yi thought that Grandma's son looked like Sun Jingyi, but he didn't think much about it. After all, Grandma's son was from House Sun, and so was Sun Jingyi. They were related, and it was normal for them to look similar. But now, it was different. After guessing Sun Jingyi's identity, Lin Yi felt that Grandma's son looked familiar. "Grandma's son, just call me Lil Yi from now on. Don't call me Mr. Lin. I'm not used to it." After knowing Grandma's son's identity, Lin Yi didn't dare to let Grandma's son call him Mr. Lin anymore. If something happened between him and Sun Jingyi, then Grandma's son would be his mother-in-law. Lin Yi wasn't used to her being so polite. "Hee, how many times have you told me that? I can't change it." Grandma's son smiled. "It's just a title anyway." Lin Yi didn't have a choice. He didn't say much. "Grandma's son, call Faubert and ask him to come here as soon as possible. I have something important to tell him." "Oh. Okay, I'll call him in a bit." Grandma's son saw how serious Lin Yi was and quickly nodded. Lin Yi, on the other hand, went with Pai Zhishan to the room where Old Pai and Qintian were healing. The two of them lay in the same room every day, chatting. Both of them were physical practitioners, and Old Pai was a sky class. Qintian had the attitude of learning, and Old Pai had the attitude of getting to know him. One was willing to learn, and the other was willing to give pointers. They had a lot of fun talking every day. The two of them heard Lin Yi's voice, but they couldn't get up to greet him due to their injuries. Old Pai, on the other hand, was much better. He quickly sat up when he heard Lin Yi's voice. "Mr. Lin, you're back." "Old Pai, just lie down. We're family now, no need to be so polite." Lin Yi waved his hand. "I'll take a look at you first." "I'm not in a rush, it's Lil Wu. His injuries are more serious than mine, can you take a look at him?" Old Pai waved his hand. He was a sky class, and his injuries weren't as serious as Qintian's. Naturally, he wouldn't let Lin Yi take a look first. "Sure." Lin Yi didn't reject it. He could tell who was more heavily injured, Qintian or Old Pai. Lin Yi put his hand on Qintian's meridians and started channeling the second stage of the art of dragon mastery. Qintian didn't resist, since he didn't need to do anything during the healing process. He just needed to quietly enjoy the feeling of being healed. This wasn't the first time Qintian let Lin Yi heal him, and he was familiar with it. He wasn't worried at all. Last time, his injuries were worse than this, and he almost became a cripple, but he recovered just the same. Qintian didn't think it would be a problem for him to recover. This was the first time Zhishan and Old Pai saw Lin Yi heal someone. Lin Yi seemed to be doing it easily. He just put his hand on Qintian's meridians, and Qintian's complexion improved at a speed visible to the naked eye. Qintian had been lying on the bed for many days, but this kind of injury wasn't something that could be healed just by lying on the bed for a long time. Other than feeling a little better, his injuries didn't change at all. But now, Qintian's face had magically turned from pale to rosy. Soon, he looked no different from a normal person. This miraculous situation made Zhishan and Old Pai gasp in amazement. The two looked at each other and saw the shock and astonishment in each other's eyes. They thought that Lin Yi knew how to heal, but he only used some herbs and acupuncture to heal. Even if he could heal, there wouldn't be any results in a short period of time. But now, it seemed that this wasn't the case at all. Lin Yi had healed Qintian with ease. In fact, Lin Yi had healed Qintian for a long time, but in the eyes of Zhishan and Old Pai, it was extremely short. When Qintian jumped up from the bed and appeared in front of them, full of vigor, the two's knowledge of martial arts was completely overturned. "Boss, he's healed?" Zhishan looked at Qintian in disbelief as he asked carefully. It seemed like nothing had happened. "All right, it's your grandpa's turn." "Where's your brother? You didn't bring him along?" Lin Yi asked. Chapter 23-25. Let them come. Elder Pai's injuries aren't as serious as Qintian's, so he'll be healed soon, Lin Yi said. "Okay, I'll call them now." Zhishan was surprised and happy. Lin Yi, on the other hand, checked Elder Pai's pulse. This was the first time Elder Pai was being healed by Lin Yi, and he was a little nervous. He looked at Lin Yi and asked carefully, "Mr. Lin, do you need me to do anything? How can I help you?" "You don't need anything, just lie down." With that, he started using the second stage of the art of dragon mastery to heal Elder Pai. Old Man Pai obeyed and didn't do anything. After a while, he felt a warm current flowing into his body from his meridians. This warm current flowed along his meridians to his wounds and began to nourish them. Soon, Old Man Pai could even feel the injuries in his body miraculously healing. This situation shocked him. Was this the legendary true qi healing? Wasn't it said that only House Sun could do this? Why was Lin Yi able to do it as well? Besides, House Sun seemed to have a limit on the number of people they could heal. They could only heal one person, but Lin Yi could heal many people? Old Pai's mind was running wild, but he was shocked inwardly. The Hidden House Hans, it was no wonder they were under Lin Yi's command so early on. Hidden House Han wasn't stupid either. If Lin Yi didn't have the strength and ability, would they be willing to be his follower? And now, Elder Pai felt that it was the right decision for House Pai to join Lin Yi. Practitioners like them couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't get injured, and with Lin Yi here, he was like a mobile sanatorium, able to heal wounds directly. This was a guarantee of life. Plus, this was just a small part of what Lin Yi had shown. Lin Yi probably had a lot more to offer. During the Hidden House meeting, Elder Pai felt that Lin Yi wasn't someone to be trifled with. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to win so many matches. Done. Just as Old Man Pai was letting his imagination run wild, Lin Yi's words brought him back to reality, but then he was stunned again. That's it? Qintian's injuries looked serious, but Elder Pai didn't know much about it and didn't check it himself. However, he was well aware of the severity of his injuries. To put it bluntly, if he didn't recover properly, he would be crippled. However, Lin Yi actually healed him in such a short period of time. Old Pai quickly checked his injuries, and it was just as Lin Yi said. His injuries were all healed, and there were no more wounds left. Really? Old Man Pai took a while to react, surprised and happy. Elder Pai, I've already told you that boss can heal us. You didn't believe me. Do you believe me now? Qintian had gotten used to it by now, practicing some of the physical martial arts that Old Man Pai taught him. Yeah, only after experiencing it firsthand would I know how amazing Mr. Lin's medical skills are. Old Man Pai sighed. It seems like I'm still a little narrow-minded. As they were talking, Pai Zhishan came back with Elder Wu Gonggao behind him. Gonggao was a little embarrassed when he saw Lin Yi. When Lin Yi was in dire straits and Chu Pengzhan got into the car accident, Gonggao cut off his allowance and told him to stay away from Lin Yi. If it wasn't for Qintian's insistence, Gonggao wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. House Wu and Lin Yi would have broken off already. This was similar to Elder Sun's situation. Sun Jingyi was in dire straits, and she had just sold her company with Qintian, and her bank account was frozen by her family, Mr. Lin. Gonggao smiled sheepishly, not daring to look at Lin Yi in the eye. He went to the hotel to look after Pai Zhihai, and Elder Pai taught his grandson martial arts every day. Gonggao didn't have anything to do, so he volunteered to go to the hotel. Lin Yi nodded. He was Qintian's grandfather, after all, and Lin Yi couldn't say much about it. Qintian was very loyal to him, and Gonggao was just trying to protect himself. Lin Yi didn't mind. Elder Wu, Qintian has recovered. Go talk to him first, I'll check on Zhihai's injuries. All right. Gonggao replied, a little embarrassed. He lowered his head and went to check on his grandson. Qintian didn't know whether to laugh or cry at his grandpa's reaction, but he was still his grandpa, and it was best for him to face him in the family. Qintian couldn't just throw a tantrum. Grandpa, you saw it, right? I made the right choice. Don't be blinded by what looks like. Qintian, you were right, I'm getting old, and I can't see the problem anymore. Gonggao sighed. I'll have to rely on you to take care of House Wu in the mundane world. I know that the position of the head of House Wu won't be able to keep you. With the speed you're improving with Mr. Lin, you'll reach Sky Class sooner or later. I just hope that you'll be able to help Qintian when you're 100 years. That kid is a little smart and cunning, but I still need to help him become the head of the house. I understand, Grandpa. Don't worry, I'll take care of my brother. Qintian nodded. In truth, Qintian didn't care about the position of head of House Wu anymore. His status had already exceeded that of a mundane noble house. Lin Yi had already started treating Zhihai's injuries. Zhihai's injuries weren't really serious at all, it was just that the pure qi from the purple electric beast had been injected into his body. This qi was similar to the qi in Lin Yi's body, a type of pure qi from the heaven and earth. However, Zhihai wasn't a spiritual practitioner, and couldn't refine the qi in his body. Even spiritual practitioners had to absorb qi through their qihai acupoint, and this qi that was forcefully injected into his body couldn't be refined. Chapter 23-26. Lin Yi could inject his qi into someone's body, but he could only seal it with a silver needle. He couldn't do it with his hands. It seemed like he should let Skybolt Pig and the Wind Lightning Purple Electric Beast try it out. Let's see how this guy did it. If Lin Yi could learn it, he'd be invincible. He'd just have to inject some qi into his opponent and he'd be invincible. But Lin Yi was just thinking about it. Since ancient times, there were so many cultivators who had contracted spiritual beasts. Were they all idiots? Didn't they think of this? It seemed like it couldn't be done at all. Lin Yi shook his head and started to help Pai Zhihai refine the purple electric beast's qi. But only the purple electric beast's qi could be refined by Lin Yi so easily. If it was someone else's qi, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to do it so easily. Lin Yi could directly absorb this qi for his own use, but others like the fire poison qi, Lin Yi couldn't. He could only use his qi to force it out of the body. That was more troublesome. It's done. Lin Yi healed Pai Zhihai in a shorter time. It was only a few seconds, and he let go of Pai Zhihai's pulse. Ah. It's done. Pai Zhishan and Elder Pai's eyes widened. This was too fast, right? Although they had accepted the fact that Lin Yi healed them quickly, it was already fast enough before. Now it seemed even faster. Pai Zhihai's injury had been treated by the hidden house Pai, and even Zhao Yaowang couldn't do anything. How could Lin Yi do it in a few seconds? Lin Yi nodded. It's nothing to begin with, just that the purple lightning beast injected some pure energy into it. Pai Jishan and Elder Pai were speechless. This was nothing, then what did it mean? After all, this was a situation where many people were powerless. However, Pai Jihai's next moan let them know that Pai Jihai was completely healed. Pai Jihai climbed up from the stretcher with a confused face. He rubbed his eyes and said, "Where am I? The competition is over? Lin Yi? Why are you here?" Pai Jihai didn't know what had happened after the Hidden House Summit ended. He had just woken up and saw that Lin Yi, his enemy, was also there, so he was naturally wary and hostile. "Jihai, don't be rude." Elder Pai was shocked by Jihai's words. "This Mr. Lin is your savior. Without him, you'd be dead already. He's also someone that our house Pai has to respect and obey." "Yeah, Jihai, I've already acknowledged Lin Yi as my boss. You're my brother, you should call him boss too," Pai Jishan added. "Ah." Pai Jihai was shocked. How come his big brother and grandpa treated Lin Yi so differently after he woke up? Wait. Did they just say that Lin Yi was their savior? Pai Jihai thought back to what had happened. During the spirit beast competition, the purple lightning beast injected a strand of chi into his body, and then he fainted. Could it be that Lin Yi helped him? Pai Jihai was obsessed with martial arts and didn't talk much, but that didn't mean he was stupid. From the current situation, it seemed like it was the case. Pai Jihai was still puzzled. Grandpa and big brother really let bygones be bygones? But their expressions didn't seem to be fake. Pai Jihai was a sensible person, so he quickly bowed to Lin Yi and said, "Thank you, Mr. Lin, for saving my life. Call him boss." Pai Jishan slapped Pai Jihai and said. Although Pai Jishan's martial arts wasn't as strong as Pai Jihai's, the two brothers were very close. They didn't fight against each other. They had been like this since they were young. No rush. Lin Yi waved his hand, indicating that Jishan didn't need to force it. He just woke up, let him rest for a bit. "Okay, thank you, boss," Pai Jishan quickly said. "Right, Elder Pai, Wu Chintian is an earth class, but he doesn't have a suitable technique." Lin Yi turned to Elder Pai. "Wu Chintian belongs to House Wu, but he practices the external iron fist arts, similar to your Hidden House Pai's arts. Can you help him find a technique?" Normally, common houses didn't have any earth class masters, so there wouldn't be any earth class techniques. Even the strongest common house Yu Huixing, didn't have a technique, so he went to the Hidden House Yu to practice. But when Lin Yi met him, the Hidden House Yu didn't give him a technique yet. "Oh, that's easy. We're on the same side now, and I don't need to hide anything. Our Hidden House Pai's technique is called Heaven and Earth Fist, and it's perfect for Wu Chintian. He'll be able to learn it right away," Elder Pai said happily after hearing Lin Yi's words. Of course, Wu Chintian is a master of both internal and external martial arts. If he can use Heaven and Earth Fist, it'll be much stronger than normal physical practitioners like us. Chintian was a little excited after hearing Old Pai's words. During this period of time, he had contact with Old Pai, and he had learned a little about the ancient backing of House Pai. It was the famous Holy Fist Palace, and the Heaven and Earth Heavenly Fist was the Holy Fist Palace's special technique. Old Pai had only mastered the first 15 styles of Heaven and Earth Heavenly Fist, but for Chintian, it was enough. Elder Pai used this technique to defeat the kidnappers, and Chintian was very envious. He didn't think that he would be able to learn it. Of course, Chintian knew that this was because after he healed Old Pai and Jihai, Old Pai truly saw him as one of his own, a comrade in the trenches. Old Pai did give him some pointers, but he didn't mention anything about Heaven and Earth Fist's techniques. "Thank you, Elder Pai. I'll work hard, and unless Elder Pai asks me to teach it to others, I won't teach it to anyone." Chintian quickly cupped his fist. Jihai was shocked. He didn't think that his grandpa would teach Chintian the Heaven and Earth Fist. It seemed like his grandpa was really loyal to Lin Yi. Chapter 23-27. Could it be that it wasn't a coincidence that House Han was willing to become Lin Yi's vassal? Even his grandpa decided? With that in mind, Zhihai wasn't conflicted anymore. His grandpa's decision was the same as House Pai's decision. Grandpa had always been a cautious person, and this decision was enough to show how bright the future would be if he followed Lin Yi. Old Pai didn't play around, either. He got a pen and paper and wrote down his practitioner's arts for Qintian, not hiding a single move. He wrote down the first 15 moves and gave it to Qintian. You should have some understanding of the activation technique in these few days. Go practice in the yard later. If you don't understand anything, ask me. But I'm guessing that you'll be even stronger than Zhihai. After all, you're a spiritual practitioner. Yes. Qintian accepted the practitioner's arts with joy and respect. Right, Old Pai, things like spirit gathering pills and small chi gathering pills should be something your hidden House Pai can't get, right? Lin Yi suddenly thought of this problem after listening to Old Pai's words. These kinds of pills weren't that rare in the hidden houses, unlike the common houses. You people practice spiritual arts, can't you just use pills to level up? That. Old Pai smiled bitterly. It's not hard to get. In fact, we have a lot of them in stock. If anyone from House Pai shows a bit of talent in spiritual arts and can practice qi into their body, we'll do our best to help them reach Earth class. Oh. What do you mean? You can't practice? Lin Yi asked curiously. It's very rare for a person who cultivates external techniques to be able to cultivate internal techniques. Although they have the internal techniques in their hands, they are basically useless. They can't refine qi into their bodies, and they can't even cultivate internal techniques. How can they eat dawn? They're just wasting it. Old Pai smiled bitterly. Physical practitioners are rare in the first place, and our House Pai doesn't have a genius like Qintian, so none of us succeeded. I'm a genius? Qintian's eyes went wide. He'd never thought of himself as a genius. Without Lin Yi, he wouldn't be a genius at all. He was still a golden class early phase physical practitioner. However, Qintian didn't dare say anything. After all, increasing someone's strength and healing were two different things. He didn't know if Lin Yi would let him say anything, so he looked at Lin Yi. Wu Qintian, you were in the same situation before. You can't practice internal martial arts? Lin Yi asked after some thought. He didn't know this much when he leveled up Qintian. I couldn't do it before, my grandpa couldn't either. Qintian smiled bitterly. Usually, it's rare to hear that a physical practitioner can become a spiritual practitioner. Then what about spiritual first, then physical? Lin Yi didn't know there was such a saying. It's rare for them to be able to practice physical arts after cultivating spiritual arts. Old Pai smiled bitterly. Only a small number of geniuses can practice physical arts after cultivating spiritual arts first, but for these geniuses, it's the same for them. I don't know much about external martial arts, so that's how it is. Lin Yi understood. Yes, except for spiritual practitioners who don't have any achievements and want to switch to external martial arts, they usually destroy their meridians and start from scratch. Qintian suddenly thought of an example. Right, it's like Faubert. Lin Yi paused. Faubert wasn't without destruction. It was because he had no other choice but to learn internal martial arts, but the principle was the same. Wait, Wu Qintian, you said you couldn't do it before? You couldn't do physical martial arts before, but now you can? Old Pai noticed a detail in Qintian's words and quickly asked. Qintian looked at Lin Yi. Yeah, I leveled him up. Lin Yi nodded. Pfft. Cough cough cough. Old Pai heard Lin Yi's words and started coughing. Mr. Lin. What? What did you say? Even Pai Zhihai, who hadn't said a word, was shocked by Lin Yi's words, his eyes wide open as he looked over in disbelief. Wu Qintian's spiritual strength was boosted by me. Lin Yi said, but my current limit is Mystic Late Phase Peak. After that, You guys will have to rely on the small chi gathering pills to level up. Boss, please help me level up. I don't need to be mystic late phase peak, just golden class early phase. I'll eat some spirit gathering pills, and small chi gathering pills, and I'll be able to level up. Jihai jumped in front of Lin Yi and bowed deeply. Jihai was a martial arts fanatic, and nothing was more important to him than the pursuit of martial arts. Both internal and external martial arts had always been his dream. So when Jihai heard that Lin Yi could level up, and with Qin Tian as an example, he willingly accepted Lin Yi as his boss. If Lin Yi could help him level up and fulfill his dream, naturally, he wouldn't let go of such a rare opportunity. Ha! Lin Yi smiled. This Jihai really was a martial arts fanatic. He wasn't even this excited when Lin Yi saved his life, but this excited when he heard that he could level up. With that thought, Lin Yi couldn't help but shake his head. What's the point of eating so many pills? Isn't that a waste? If you have any extra, give me a few. Heh heh. Jihai scratched his head. If I can really level up to mystic late phase peak, then I'll only need one small chi gathering pill to break through to earth class. The rest are all yours, boss. You brat, don't you think about me and your grandpa? Jishan smiled bitterly. At least leave one for each of us. Jishan. Don't talk nonsense, don't be too greedy. Old Pai frowned and kicked Jishan. Did he think that his family was a great hero? He'd only helped Lin Yi save Wang Xinyan once, and Lin Yi had already returned the favor by healing Pai Jihai's wounds. If he could level Pai Jihai up, that would be a huge gift. Pai Jishan, on the other hand, was asking for a mile. Did he want his whole family to be a dual practitioner? How was that possible? Even the Holy Fist Palace didn't have such a large internal and external martial artist team. Chapter 23-28. Wu Qintian had been with Lin Yi for a long time, and even if he didn't contribute much, he'd still put in a lot of effort. Wu Gonggao was still a mystic early phase physical practitioner, and Lin Yi didn't even help him level up. How could the hidden house Pai do that? I'm sorry, boss. I was a little too impatient and greedy. Jishan quickly apologized. It's normal for practitioners to pursue higher realms. How many pills do you have? Lin Yi asked. About a dozen of them. Jishan wasn't sure. These pills were precious, but the Pai people couldn't eat them, so he didn't pay much attention. He turned to Elder Pai. 15 in total, Elder Pai said. Old Pai said, in fact, there are more opportunities to collect more small chi gathering pills, but I didn't do it, because it's useless to collect them. It's better to collect something else. Alright, you, Jishan, Jihai, and Gonggao each get one, so that's 4. I'll take 5 of the remaining 11, Lin Yi said after some thought. He didn't expect the hidden house Pai to be so rich, to have so many small chi gathering pills. Ah. Old Pai was dumbfounded. It wasn't that Lin Yi was asking for a chi gathering pellet, but that Lin Yi was saying that he was going to level up his whole family. This was something that Elder Pai couldn't accept. Wasn't this happiness a little too fast? Even if Lin Yi asked for all of them and asked him to collect them, Elder Pai would have been more than willing. If it wasn't for Lin Yi, even 100 of them wouldn't be enough to help his family become an Earth-class early-phase spiritual practitioner, let alone 15. Mr. Lin, this seems like a loss, right? Elder Pai asked carefully. Loss? Lin Yi was surprised. He thought that Old Pai was saying that it was a loss for him to pay 5 small chi gathering pills, but it didn't look like that. Lin Yi immediately understood what he was thinking. He smiled and said, I see you as one of my own. In the future, when I go out, I'll need you to protect the people around me. So if you don't improve your strength, I won't be at ease. Then, it would be impolite of us to refuse. Old Pai said excitedly. How long will it take to level up? Mr. Lin, why don't you level up Jihai first, and I'll go back and get the lesser chi gathering pills. Have someone send it over. You'll be gone for too long. Lin Yi said, if everything goes as expected, the four of you will all be Mystic Late Phase Peak by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow morning? Old Pai, Pai Jishan, and Pai Jihai were all shocked. If Lin Yi said that he could raise someone to Mystic Late Phase Peak by tomorrow morning, they would be shocked, but Lin Yi said that it was 4 people. This made them freeze. If there are no accidents, it'll be fine by tomorrow morning. Chen Tian had experienced the feeling of his strength increasing firsthand. This. Mr. Lin, you've really shocked me. Old Pai smiled bitterly and shook his head. It seems like what we know about you is just the tip of the iceberg. I understand now. No wonder Han Xiaopa of the Hidden House didn't level up before, but suddenly increased his strength right before the Hidden House summit. It seems like it's all thanks to you, Mr. Lin. I wouldn't dare take credit for it, but it was me. Lin Yi didn't deny it and nodded. It seems like this Pai Jishan making you his boss was the best decision he's ever made in his life. Old Pai sighed and looked at Chen Tian with envy. This guy was just a disciple of a common noble house, but he was doing so well with Lin Yi. Even in terms of seniority, Jishan had to call him Tian bro. After all, he was Lin Yi's follower. Huh, that's right, I have foresight. Jishan said proudly. Those chi gathering pills, we'll take all 15 of them, we don't have much use for the rest. Mr. Lin can decide how to use them, Old Pai said. If you need more, I'll get someone to collect more, it's fine, this is enough. Lin Yi wanted to give one back to Han Xiaopa, Ling Shan, Yutian, Qikuan, and Faubert, making it 5, but he didn't expect Old Pai to give him so many. Huh, we don't have any use for it. Old Pai waved his hand. Plus, we've already taken advantage of you. If we do as you say, Mr. Lin, we'll be on the same side from now on, these things will all belong to you. Alright then. Lin Yi didn't push it, if he had more, he could give some to Tianlong and the others. After all, Tianlong was too weak to fight against the Red Conch. He was Xiao Xiao's father. If anything happened to him, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to answer to Xiao Xiao. But House Wu doesn't have anything special. The one who felt the most guilty was Gong Gao, Qintian's grandpa. He felt like he'd let Lin Yi down. When Lin Yi was in trouble, Gong Gao didn't give him a single cent, and even froze Qintian's allowance. It made him feel very guilty. Don't say that. You have a good grandson, and that's enough. Lin Yi said faintly. He didn't give Gong Gao any face, but it was the truth. Gong Gao blushed, feeling a little ashamed. He looked at Chen Tian awkwardly and smiled. Thank you, boss. Chen Tian said seriously. Old Pai sent his family to get the small chi gathering pills, and Lin Yi started leveling them up one by one, starting from Jihai. He had nothing to do while waiting for the Miss and Shu to finish school, and it wasn't even noon yet. It was enough for the two to step into Mystic Late Phase Peak from now until they finished school. Out of all of them, Jihai was the most impatient. They didn't fight with him, and Lin Yi naturally helped him level up first. You don't need to do anything later, just circulate your house's practitioner's arts. I'll transfer the chi you need from your meridians. Lin Yi said to Jihai. Chapter 23-29. The two of them started, and soon, Pai Jihai broke through to the early stage of golden class from a person without any internal strength. Pai Jihai's face was suddenly full of shock. Wasn't this too fast? It was not that he had not studied internal cultivation before. On the contrary, Pai Jihai would study and experiment when he was free, but there was no progress every time. As a martial arts addict, he naturally wanted to become a master of both internal and external cultivation. Therefore, this kind of chi sense that he wanted to refine chi into his body so many times actually appeared, and he quickly reached the early stage of golden class, which made him feel like he was dreaming. Although at the moment when he was promoted to the early stage of golden class, there was a trace of pain in his body caused by the bottleneck, but then it was quickly overwhelmed by the excitement of this upgrade. Of course, at this moment, Pai Jihai was not the only one who was shocked and excited. Pai Jishan, Old Master Pai, and even Wu Gonggao, who already knew that Wu Qintian was promoted to a master by Lin Yi, were all shocked at this moment. It was self-evident what this meant for the masters of external cultivation. This kind of opportunity, even for the masters of the Holy Fist Palace, was hard to come by. The few of them looked at each other and decided to keep this a secret. This was not only to protect Lin Yi, but also to save himself trouble. Even if Old Master Pai's backer was the Holy Fist Palace, he would not talk about it. After all, many of the geniuses of the Holy Fist Palace, as long as they could cultivate chi sense, they would train this person to be a master of both internal and external cultivation at all costs. However, Pai Jihai's strength was still rapidly increasing, and soon he broke through to the middle stage of Golden Class, followed by the late stage of Golden Class. This kind of speed, even if it was taking elixirs, no one had ever heard of it. Even if he took elixirs, he still needed time to refine them, right? But Lin Yi simply skipped the time to refine the elixirs, and directly upgraded Pai Jihai at the speed of a rocket. Old Master Pai looked at Pai Jishan more and more kindly. He was very happy that Pai Jishan could get to know Lin Yi and become Lin Yi's follower. It was really a blessing for House Pai. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Pai Jihai successfully became a master of the peak late stage of mystic class, and had qi in his body. Pai Jihai couldn't believe it. But what surprised Lin Yi was that when Lin Yi continued to upgrade Pai Jishan, Pai Jihai actually did not take a small qi-gathering pill and broke through to the early stage of Earth class. This reminded Lin Yi of Qintian's situation. Qintian started from the inside to the outside, leveling up his spiritual style first, then his external style. But Pai Jihai's external style was already at Earth class early phase peak, and according to this principle, it made sense that Pai Jihai would be able to break through to Earth class early phase spiritual style by himself. But Jihai's speed was a bit too fast. Lin Yi had just finished upgrading him, and he broke through on his own. Of course, this was also because Lin Yi didn't need to use any stamina to level him up, and after leveling up, he had enough stamina to break through to the early stage of Earth class. This situation shocked Lin Yi. Qintian's situation was that he leveled up his physical strength first, but Pai Jihai leveled up his spiritual strength on his own. There was a problem here, and that was that the side effects of Lin Yi's leveling up of others didn't appear on Jihai. After Lin Yi helped others level up, because of the purity of the qi in the air, he couldn't level up on his own. He could only take elixirs or go to places with more qi. But Jihai broke through on his own. Could it be that this situation didn't apply to masters of both spiritual and spiritual strength? Or was it because Jihai's physical strength had already broken through the barrier of the previous level, and that was why his spiritual strength could continue to level up? Of course, once Jihai's spiritual strength reached the peak early stage of Earth class, he'd be able to see if there really was no limit. If Jihai could still continue training then it would prove that the side effect of Lin Yi's leveling up of others didn't apply to masters of both spiritual and spiritual strength. If Jihai couldn't continue training and could only focus on physical strength, then the side effect still existed. It was just that masters of both spiritual and spiritual strength were special, and this side effect was set at the highest point of their body. But even if there was a side effect, as long as the physical strength could continue to level up, then the spiritual strength would continue to increase as well. However, this was still a great advantage compared to normal inner sect experts. Can you still break through? Lin Yi looked at Jihai and asked. I can't, I just charged up and broke through naturally. But if I break through again, I won't be able to. Jihai smiled bitterly. Boss, the spiritual strength you gave me was at the peak late stage peak of mystic class. I was just one step away from leveling up, and that's why I broke through. But now, I haven't even stabilized my Earth class early stage spiritual strength yet. How can I break through? Lin Yi nodded, but this made things a lot more normal. Otherwise, Lin Yi would have thought that Jihai was a martial arts maniac. But even so, Jihai was still much stronger than the others. Jishan hadn't finished leveling up yet, and when Meng Yao and the others were about to leave school, Lin Yi had just leveled him up to the peak early stage of mystic class. But Lin Yi wasn't in a rush, so he decided to stop and continue at night. Lin Yi's way of leveling up didn't need to be done in one go. As long as one's strength was lower than Lin Yi's, one could level up at any time. There was no time limit, and so Lin Yi paused. I'll go pick up the miss from school first, I'll continue at night. Okay. Pai Zhishan nodded happily. Zhihai and Shintian, on the other hand, volunteered, boss, we'll go with you? It's fine, the car can't fit that many people. If there's any danger, I can handle it myself. You guys rest first. Lin Yi didn't need them at all. If he met an opponent, as long as it wasn't a sky class, Lin Yi was confident that he could hold his own. If it was a coward like the third head of the house, it wouldn't be strange if he killed him. Since Lin Yi said so, they didn't force it. Lin Yi drove his jeep to the parking lot of Donghai Engineering University and waited. Chapter 23:30. Pai Zhishan had been picking them up from the parking lot for the past few days, and he'd come early every day without fail. Today, Pai Zhishan didn't show up, and Meng Yao was a little surprised. She was wondering if she should give him a call when she saw Yushu running towards a black jeep. Meng Yao's heart tightened when she saw the familiar plate number on the jeep. Was he back? She shook her head with a bitter smile, thinking that Shu had really sharp eyes. She'd spotted Lin Yi's car right away, and she was still looking for Pai Zhishan's BMW X5M. Shield bro, you're back. I've missed you for Yao Yao. Yushu opened the door to the front passenger seat and got in. She then turned to Meng Yao. Yao Yao, do you want me to give you the front passenger seat? You sit. Meng Yao was too embarrassed to sit in front. She shook her head and walked over, smiling at Lin Yi. You're back. Yeah, I'm back. Lin Yi smiled as well. He didn't know why, but Lin Yi felt that there was an indescribable connection between him and the Mississippi. One look, one smile, and they understood each other's concern and longing for each other. Wow, Yao Yao, you and Shield bro seem to have a dick. Since when did you two become so in sync? Yushu said with an evil smile as she looked at Meng Yao and Lin Yi. Meng Yao's face reddened as she glared at Yushu. It's usually the thief calling the thief. Yeah, someone said it's the thief calling the thief. Yushu said. Can't you be a little more stupid at times like this? Meng Yao was speechless. Shu's never been stupid. Yushu said. Alright, you guys get in. Lin Yi felt a very familiar and warm feeling as he looked at the two arguing. It was as if this was the kind of life he'd wanted. For the sake of Lin Yi, I won't argue with you. Missy got into the back of the car. See, I told you there's a JQ, right? Why else would you give Shield bro face instead of Shu, your sister of 10 years? Yushu said with a look of understanding. You. The miss felt a sense of defeat. Arguing with Yushu was just asking for trouble. These days, it's all thanks to you guys. A lot of things have happened at home. Thank you. Lin Yi smiled and interrupted their quarrel. You have to thank Sister Yao Yao. She was the one who helped us. Yushu said. She's always telling old Pai and Pai Zhishan not to worry, saying that you're coming back soon, but Shu always knew that Shield bro never called. Meng Yao's face reddened even more. She didn't expect Shu to find out so early. But judging from how Shu found out when she was on the phone with Lin Yi, Shu really did have the potential to be a spy. Nothing could escape her eyes and ears. It's my fault. Thank you. Lin Yi didn't expect Meng Yao to be so troubled at home, but it made sense. Old Pai and Pai Zhishan didn't know what he was capable of, so it was normal for them to be worried. Only Chen Tian knew that his injuries could be healed, but old Pai wouldn't believe him 100%. It's nothing. Meng Yao looked at Han Xiaoqiao, who wasn't far away. Han Jingjing is coming, let's not talk about this. Meng Yao rarely told Han Jingjing about these things. Although Lin Yi seemed to trust Han Jingjing a lot, Meng Yao still felt that there was something wrong with Han Jingjing. She couldn't tell if it was evil, but she just felt that Han Jingjing was a bit weird. Han Jingjing didn't see her BMW X5M when she arrived at the parking lot, but saw her brother standing beside a Jeep. She paused, realizing that it was Lin Yi. She ran over excitedly and got in the car, sitting in the middle of the second row. Lin Yi bro, you're back. Yeah, I just got back today. How is it? Any progress on the pill refining side? Lin Yi asked. Sigh, speaking of this, Jing Jing has a slight headache. Is Jing Jing an idiot? Every day, I can only refine a second-grade elixir. After that, I'll feel weak and exhausted. I have to rest for a night before I can continue refining elixirs. Han Jingjing put on a long face and said with some annoyance, even if Jing Jing wanted to use scientific alchemy to refine a few more batches of pills at once, I couldn't succeed because refining more batches of pills requires more physical strength. Jing Jing couldn't hold on and wasted 2 batches of materials, that's fine. So if I make one a day, can I guarantee 100% success rate? Lin Yi asked. Yeah, if I don't succeed, then I'd be an idiot. Han Jingjing nodded. That's already very impressive. Even if a normal Tier 2 alchemist is prepared to refine a Tier 2 elixir pill, it's still impossible for them to succeed 100% of the time. Lin Yi was disappointed, but Han Jingjing's success rate was close to 100%. What was there to be dissatisfied about? Is that so? Then it seems that Jing Jing can do it. It's just that she doesn't have enough stamina. Han Jingjing sighed. If she had enough stamina, she could use scientific methods to make multiple pills at once. Oh. Lin Yi suddenly thought of a way to solve Han Jingjing's problem. What if he and Han Jingjing worked together, and Han Jingjing was making pills while he was behind her, supplying and replenishing her qi? Wouldn't that solve the problem? Lin Yi bro, do you have a way? Han Jingjing saw Lin Yi's thoughtful expression and asked quickly. Yeah, I have a way. I'll ask you to test it tonight. Lin Yi said. Yeah. Han Jingjing nodded happily. Lin Yi bro is better than Jing Jing. You thought of a solution as soon as you came back. You're amazing. Yushu, on the other hand, curled her lips. This Han Jingjing was too good at acting cute. She didn't even blush when she said those words. Even if she liked Shield Bro, she wouldn't flatter him like this. Han Jingjing sat beside Meng Yao, and Han Xiaoqiao sat beside Han Jingjing. Lin Yi started the car and drove out of the school towards the direction of Shuashang District. Chapter 23:31. Yao Yao, this Han Jingjing. How should I put it? Do you think she's really dumb, or is she just acting dumb? Yushu whispered after entering the villa. Even you can't tell? Meng Yao looked at Yushu. Aren't you all-powerful, Shu? I think she's all-powerful, Jingjing. She's able to come up with all sorts of weird techniques like scientific pill-making. She really isn't a normal person. Yushu said. That's right. Who cares, she seems to be very helpful to Lin Yi. Whether she's dumb or just acting dumb like you, it doesn't matter. Meng Yao shrugged. I'm not acting dumb, I'm not dumb in the first place. Yushu said. That Han Jingjing isn't dumb in the first place. Meng Yao said. All right. Yushu's question was a waste of time. Qintian, Gonggao, Jishan, Zhihai, and Elder Pai all came out to welcome Meng Yao and Yushu. They weren't in a rush when they heard that Lin Yi had gone next door. With the leveling speed Lin Yi gave them, there was no need to rush at all. Even if they couldn't level up by tomorrow morning, they could still do it tomorrow. As for why Lin Yi went next door, Meng Yao didn't tell them. She didn't tell anyone that Han Jingjing knew how to concoct elixirs. They were Lin Yi's followers, but it was better if fewer people knew about it. Lin Yi would have said it himself, and Meng Yao, naturally, wouldn't have said anything. Han Xiaoqiao went upstairs to study after the group entered the villa. The guy was a complete bookworm, and he didn't care about what Han Jingjing was doing at all. He didn't even ask about it. Lin Yi, Han Jingjing, and Han Xiaoqiao went upstairs to study. What pill did you waste, and what did you succeed? Lin Yi asked. 4 sets of materials for the minor reversion pill were wasted, but 1 was successfully refined. As for the meridian opening pill, 2 sets of materials were successfully refined. You haven't used the materials for the small qi gathering pill yet? Lin Yi asked. No. Han Jingjing said. I haven't had the time to do it yet. That's good. Lin Yi nodded. The circulation pill and meridian unblocking pill didn't have much use for Lin Yi. Lin Yi's art of dragon mastery could achieve the effects of these 2 pills, and Lin Yi could achieve the effects that they couldn't. So their usefulness was a little accumulated. But the lesser pills were different. Lin Yi had a lot of people around him, and while the hidden house pie had 11 of them, if Han Jingjing could make all 5 of them, Lin Yi could create more Earth-class masters. By the way, big brother Lin Yi, what did you think of before? Han Jingjing asked. Now, simulate the process of refining 2 pills, and then I will help you infuse true qi, see if it works. Lin Yi didn't dare let Han Jingjing directly use the materials. Lin Yi was afraid that this method wouldn't work, and the materials would be wasted. He still had 3 portions of the meridian opening pill, but if they were wasted, then he could only use the materials for the lesser qi gathering pill. That would be a waste. Okay, but if you simulate it, you won't be able to see the actual effects. It won't be of much use. It'll just waste your energy, Han Jingjing said. That's fine. I just want to see if my true qi can be used by you. Lin Yi said. If my true qi can be used by you, then you can use the actual materials to test it. Okay, Jing, shall we start now? Han Jingjing picked up the 2nd level cauldron and asked Lin Yi. Yes, let's start. Lin Yi nodded. His hands clasped Han Jingjing's wrist where the meridians were, and Han Jingjing began to condense the alchemy fire, preparing to simulate alchemy. Soon, Han Jingjing's alchemy fire was condensed, and then she began to simulate alchemy. Lin Yi began to circulate the 2nd level of the art of dragon mastery, preparing to replenish the true qi in Han Jingjing's body. But soon, Lin Yi discovered a problem. That was, Han Jingjing's body didn't absorb his true qi at all. The 2nd level of the art of dragon mastery only circulated in Lin Yi's body, and the true qi was also limited to circulating in Lin Yi's body. It didn't enter Han Jingjing's body at all. Big brother Lin Yi, there's no true qi. Han Jingjing also felt this. Her alchemy was completely according to the formula and timetable made on the tablet. She didn't use her own wood attribute to sense the changes in the medicinal herbs in the cauldron, so she could be distracted and talk. Yes, there's really no. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. When you're refining, can you circulate the mantra of the alchemist's cultivation at the same time? This can't be. Han Jingjing shook her head. Jing can only circulate the mantra of condensing the alchemy fire. I can't circulate the mantra of the cultivation at the same time. Then it probably won't work. Lin Yi let go of Han Jingjing's hands and sighed with some depression. Only when you circulate the mantra of the cultivation, I can input true qi into you. When you circulate other mantras, my true qi won't be automatically absorbed by you. It seems that my idea can't be realized. Previously, Lin Yi was still happy for his sudden idea, but now that he had tried it, he found that it didn't work, which made Lin Yi very disappointed. Then, do I still need to simulate it? Han Jingjing asked. I'll try to input it directly from your Qihai acupoint, but I may have to touch your abdomen. Lin Yi hesitated and said. Oh, okay. Han Jingjing nodded. That, you are a girl. It's okay if I touch you like this, right? Lin Yi saw that Han Jingjing didn't seem to understand that men and women shouldn't touch each other, so he added a sentence. Of course it's okay. It's okay for big brother Lin Yi to touch, but others can't. Han Jingjing said naturally. You. Lin Yi really couldn't understand why Han Jingjing, who suddenly appeared and became his neighbor, would be so close to him. It seems that what I said is right. She still admires me. It's a bit weird. However, Lin Yi could also feel from Han Jingjing's eyes that she didn't have any malice toward him, and she really didn't have any cultivation strength. She didn't seem like an enemy spy. Chapter 23:32. So, if she really was sent by his opponent, then he had to thank his opponent. Thank him so much. He knew he didn't know how to concoct elixirs, so he sent him a mobile cauldron. Lin Yi saw that Han Jingjing's expression was not strange, so he simply did not pretend. He directly pressed his hand on Han Jingjing's Qihai acupoint and continued to run the second layer of the Art of Dragon Mastery. However, the result this time still disappointed Lin Yi. Han Jingjing still couldn't absorb Lin Yi's true qi. In other words, Lin Yi's assumption was a complete failure. What's wrong, brother Lin Yi, did you fail again? Han Jingjing saw Lin Yi's disappointed look and asked quickly. It failed again. Lin Yi nodded. It seems that this assumption is not good. I can only give up. It doesn't matter. Brother Lin Yi is thinking of a way for Jing Jing. Jing Jing is already very grateful. If it doesn't work this time, there will be a next time. Jing Jing's alchemy can't be successful in one try. Han Jingjing was not disappointed to Lin Yi. It seems that it is impossible for me to use my true qi to assist you in alchemy. Lin Yi shook his head and said, you can only find ways to improve your strength as soon as possible. You are now an Earth Stage Master. I guess the Earth Stage is also the limit of a second-grade alchemist. Even if you can condense a third-grade alchemy fire, you can't refine a third-grade alchemy pill. Brother Lin Yi, you don't have to worry too much. You want to sacrifice yourself to help Jing Jing alchemy. Jing Jing is already very grateful. Han Jingjing comforted. Sacrifice myself? After listening to Han Jingjing's words, Lin Yi suddenly had a flash of inspiration in his mind. He seemed to think of something. Yes, sacrifice yourself. Lin Yi was very familiar with this sentence. He seemed to have heard it once, and it seemed to be very important. Yes. Lin Yi suddenly remembered what he thought of. That was, when he was hiding in the Han family, in the Han family scripture pavilion, Lin Yi saw an ancient supplementary martial art. According to old Han's introduction, that martial art could replenish energy and true qi for the people around him, but at the cost of one's own strength and true qi. It was a martial art that sacrificed oneself to help others. At that time, Lin Yi felt that this martial art should be of some use. Moreover, using it on Lin Yi's own body, the side effects weren't that big. This was because whether Lin Yi used up his true qi or dropped a level, he could use the Jade Space's energy to replenish and recover in the shortest amount of time. This was completely different from others. He had a unique advantage. However, Lin Yi's mind was on the hidden family summit. Although he had copied this martial art, he didn't think too much about it. Later, because he accompanied Sun Jingyi to the Wulonghout Mountains, he didn't have time to study it. Now that he thought about it, this martial art was simply tailor-made for him and Han Jingjing. After he cultivated this martial art, he could use it to restore his own strength and true qi. However, he didn't know under what state would his own people be able to accept this martial art. Did he have to circulate the mantra he had learned during cultivation, or could he accept it in his normal state or in a battle state? Would they be able to accept it actively or passively? Thinking about this, Lin Yi didn't want to stay a moment longer. He wanted to go back and take a closer look at the martial art that was copied in the hidden Han family and see if Han Jingjing could use it. Jing Jing, you really are my little lucky star. You really woke me up with a single sentence and reminded me. Lin Yi was so happy that he almost hugged Han Jingjing and kissed her. He stretched out his hand and put it down resentfully. I have a martial art that can probably solve this situation. I have to go back and study it. Don't refine pills for these 2 days. Wait for me to study it first before continuing. Okay, but Jing Jing didn't do anything. It was all Lin Yi Gija's ideas. Han Jingjing never took credit for herself. Hee hee, Jing Jing, you really helped me a lot. Lin Yi smiled. I was so excited just now that I almost hugged you and kissed you. Really? Did Jing Jing help? Han Jingjing didn't say anything on the surface, but there was a faint but imperceptible disappointment in her eyes. Okay, I'll go back first. You should rest early too. Lin Yi said to Han Jingjing. His mind was focused on going back and looking at the martial art, so he didn't see the abnormality in Han Jingjing's eyes. Then Jing Jing will sleep for a few days. I haven't slept in for a long time. Jing Jing, go to bed early today. Han Jingjing said she was sleepy and said with a yawn. It seemed that recently, she was really tired. Every day, she studied and refined second-grade medicinal pills. She had exhausted her energy to the limit. Have a good rest. Lin Yi nodded and said goodbye to Han Jingjing. He quickly returned to his villa. Until he left Han Jingjing's villa, Lin Yi was still a little confused. This Han Jingjing, the timing of her appearance and the help she gave him were too strange. He hoped it was really not a bad thing. After all, humans weren't plants. How could they be emotionless? Lin Yi had been interacting with Han Jingjing for a while now, and he was starting to like this girl who was terrifyingly smart and heartless. When Lin Yi returned to the villa, Wu Chintian, Wu Gonggao, Pai Jishan, Pai Jihai, and Elder Pai were all chatting in the living room. The Miss and Shu weren't there. Mr. Lin, boss, you're back. When they saw Lin Yi, they all stood up to talk to Lin Yi. Even the Sky-class Elder Pai didn't hold back in front of Lin Yi. He didn't act like a junior, but the head of a vassal house of Lin Yi. You don't have to be so polite in the future. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. Wu Chintian, you weren't like this before. Why are you playing these games now that there are so many people? Haha. Didn't I think it would be more formal when there are more people? Chintian scratched his head and turned to Elder Pai. Elder Pai, boss is a nice guy, no need to be so courteous. What he cares about is whether or not we're doing things for him sincerely, not etiquette. Where are Yao Yao and Shu? Lin Yi asked casually. The miss went upstairs. Chintian said. It's not convenient for them to go downstairs with us guys. You know it's not convenient, so why aren't you going back to your rooms? You're hogging the living room. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Chapter 23:33. Lin Yi nodded and said, Pai Jishan, get ready with Elder Pai and Elder Wu. I'll help you guys level up later. I have something to do now, so I'll go back to my room first. Okay, we'll wait for you. Pai Jishan heard that Lin Yi was going to help him level up, so he quickly replied. After Lin Yi returned to his room, the first thing he did was to find the supplementary martial arts technique that he copied from the hidden Han family and study it carefully. This martial skill was called Spring Rain from the Heavens. Although it was also divided into 20 moves, there was no difference in strength between the moves of each level. The only difference was that the first move could instantly restore the physical strength and true chi of one person, the second move could restore the physical strength and true chi of 2 people, the third move could restore the physical strength and true chi of 3 people, and so on. At most, it could restore the physical strength and true chi of 20 people at once. Of course, although the number of recovery increased, the total amount of physical strength and chi recovered was still the same. It was just that it was evenly divided from 1 person to 2, 3, or even more. The amount of physical strength and chi recovered was completely dependent on the user's will and time. In other words, if Lin Yi wanted to, he could keep using it until his physical strength and chi were all used up. This might be a super nightmare for others, but for Lin Yi, it was no problem. After all, Lin Yi was different from others. His physical strength and qi were all used up, but he could still recover quickly. This martial arts technique was really not bad, but under what circumstances could it be used? Lin Yi continued to look, but the usage conditions at the back made Lin Yi happy. Basically, it meant that there were no usage conditions. This was because this supplementary martial arts technique was active for the user, but for the recipient, it was passive. After all, even if the recipient was an enemy, after the martial arts technique was used, they wouldn't be at a disadvantage. So no one would be stupid enough to let the enemy use it. And no matter what state their own people were in, whether they were fighting, or doing nothing, they could still accept Lin Yi's physical strength and qi transfer. That's it. After Lin Yi finished reading, he was overjoyed. This martial skill was practically tailor-made for him and Han Jingjing. Han Jingjing was refining pills on the other side and had no stamina and qi, but Lin Yi could continuously replenish her energy. Under the situation where she didn't have to be distracted, she could unknowingly recover her stamina, allowing her to smoothly complete the process of refining pills. After confirming this, he wasn't in a rush anymore. He just needed to slowly master this technique, and he'd be able to help Han Jingjing concoct pills. What he needed to do now was to raise Pai Jishan, Elder Pai, and Wu Gonggao's strength. He left the room to see Grandma Sun, who was cleaning up the living room. She smiled when she saw Lin Yi. "Mr. Lin, I called Li Fu just now, he said he's already here." "All right," Lin Yi nodded and went to Qintian's room. The night passed peacefully, and the next morning, Pai Jishan and Elder Pai both stepped into Mystic Late Phase Peak. Although they were Mystic Late Phase Peak, they didn't have Pai Jihai's comprehension. They couldn't break through to Earth class in one go. Perhaps only someone like Pai Jihai, who only cared about martial arts, could break through in such a short amount of time. Others were busy with work. Even if old Pai was at the early phase of Sky class, he still couldn't break through to Earth class in such a short amount of time. No return for Elder Pai, breaking through to Earth class or even higher was just a matter of time. With Pai Jihai as an example, he wasn't in a hurry to take the small qi gathering pill. It was also a matter of face. He was already a Sky class master, and if he couldn't break through to Earth class by himself, it would be too embarrassing. Pai Jishan, on the other hand, didn't have this problem. He wasn't a martial arts fanatic, and he was a junior. When he realized that he couldn't break through, he took the qi gathering pill, and with Lin Yi's help, he broke through to Earth class early phase, becoming a true dual practitioner Earth class early phase master. This made Pai Jishan very happy. Leveling up was easy and fun. He didn't think that he'd be able to achieve anything in the first place. After all, his main focus was on how to develop House Pai, and as a support, Pai Jihai would be enough for House Pai. But now, it seemed that leveling up was a pleasant surprise. What made Jihai the happiest was that he was able to hug onto Lin Yi's thighs. Lin Yi looked like an Earth class mid-phase master, but Lin Yi didn't have the power of an Earth class mid-phase master. If it wasn't someone close to Lin Yi, they wouldn't know about this. "Thank you, boss." Pai Jishan cupped his fist. "From now on, Jihai and I will be boss's powerful follower. We won't hesitate to climb mountains or swim seas." Elder Wu, it's your turn now," Lin Yi said. "It's a bit slower than expected, and I had some personal matters to take care of, but you'll be able to level up soon." "No rush, no rush," Gong Gao said in fear. "It all depends on Mr. Lin's time." "Then let's start now, Faubert will be here soon." "Let's settle your stuff first." Lin Yi nodded. Wu Gongao was the weakest among them, and he didn't have the support of an external style. So it was hard for him to level up his internal style. Wu Gonggao's external style was still at the middle phase of the mystic class, and once he surpassed the middle phase of the mystic class, the process of leveling up would be painful. Fortunately, Gonggao was very patient. Physical practitioners like him might not be strong in other areas, but they were rare in terms of endurance. Back then, Chintian had been in great pain, but he had been able to endure it. Very quickly, Wu Gonggao's spiritual qi reached the peak of the late phase of the mystic class, but he needed to rely on the qi-gathering pill to break through. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to break through to the earth class. Although he knew from Chintian that Lin Yi could help people level up, he was still quite shocked after experiencing it firsthand. He looked at Lin Yi, who didn't seem to be proud of himself at all, with a complicated feeling in his heart. By the time they finished, it was already 9 in the morning. But it was Saturday, so they didn't have to worry about school. Chapter 23:34. The Miss and Shu hadn't woken up yet, and even if they did, they were still playing in their bedroom. My friend will be here to discuss some things. You guys can discuss breakfast on your own, Lin Yi said. Grandma's son has something to do as well. Since Grandma's son was going to be with them, they didn't have much food to eat. Okay, no problem, we'll go buy some food now. We've been in Donghai for so long, and we haven't had a chance to walk around. Old Pai was a shrewd old man, and naturally knew that Lin Yi was avoiding them. Even if they didn't listen, it would be awkward at home, so they might as well leave. I'll call you guys after I'm done here, Lin Yi said. What he meant was, don't come back until I call you guys. No problem. Pai Jishan agreed quickly. And so, Chintian and the others didn't waste any time and left the villa. Old Pai came with his car, but it was parked in the public parking lot, and there was no more space in the villa. Mr. Lin, why is there still my business? Grandma's son asked curiously after Chintian and Pai Jishan left. It's about you and Faubert, but we can only talk about it privately. Lin Yi said, I'll go check on Skybolt Pig and Purple Thunderbolt Beast first. Call me when Faubert comes. Okay. Grandma's son nodded. She didn't know what it was, but since Lin Yi said that, it must be something important. Lin Yi walked to the villa's backyard. After Skybolt Pig came back yesterday, he went to tell Purple Thunderbolt Beast and General Wei Wu about what he saw and heard. When Lin Yi walked over, he was still excitedly talking to Purple Thunderbolt Beast and General Wei Wu. Seeing that Lin Yi had arrived, the little fellow stopped talking. However, Lin Yi could guess that it was probably talking about the Fire Lion race and the Spider race. Feng, I'll have to trouble you with Wang Xinyan's matter when I'm not here. Lin Yi walked over and rubbed the Purple Lightning Beast's head. Roar. The Purple Electric Tempest Beast smiled shyly, as if it was embarrassed by Lin Yi's politeness. Lin Yi nodded. The Purple Electric Tempest Beast was his contracted spiritual beast, so it was his duty to help him. Lin Yi naturally couldn't be arrogant, so he didn't say anything more. Instead, he asked, Little Feng, how did you do it with the true qi you injected into Pai Jihai's body? Can I do it? Roar roar. The Purple Electric Tempest Beast pointed at itself and nodded. Then, it pointed at Lin Yi and shook its head. What do you mean? You can do it, but I can't. Lin Yi roughly understood what the Purple Electric Tempest Beast was trying to say. Oink oink. Skybolt Pig translated for Lin Yi, and started writing on the sand. Feng said that this is a special ability of spirit beasts, because their pure energy doesn't come from using their practitioner's arts. They can transfer it to others, but humans can't. Even I can't do it? Lin Yi felt that he was the special one. Roar. The Purple Electric Tempest Beast shook its head and explained to Lin Yi. It said that you can't do it either, and this kind of attack isn't very useful. Sky Thunder Pig continued to write, most of the time, this kind of thing can't enter a person's body. Only when the person is an external martial artist without qi protection will it be effective. Internal martial artists with qi protection will not be able to enter their body unless they are unknowingly ambushed. However, it can only be used to ambush low-level experts. High-level experts will notice before they even get close. Moreover, not all of them are useful against physical practitioners. For example, those physical practitioners with golden bell cover and iron shirt can't inject true qi. Experts who use some special method to change the position of meridians and acupoints are also ineffective because true qi can't be injected into their bodies. So that's how it is. Seeing Skybolt Pig's translation, Lin Yi's enthusiasm decreased a lot. Most of the people Lin Yi met were internal practitioners. There were very few physical practitioners, so this ability was a little useless. Roar roar. The purple electric tempest beast nodded and roared a few more times. It said, "Can't your true chi bomb also hit people? Why must you learn it?" Skybolt Pig translated. The true chi bomb can only hurt people and it needs to be compressed. It's a little troublesome. It's not like your true chi bomb that can make the enemy faint in pain. Lin Yi shook his head and said. He was a little disappointed. He thought too much, but thinking about it carefully, it was normal. If the spirit beast's true chi was this powerful, wouldn't it be invincible? Lin Yi decided not to study the purple electric tempest beast's ability for now. If he had the time, he might as well study the supplementary martial skill, Heavenly Spring Rain. Xiao Yi. Lin Yi was just about to study the supplementary martial skill when he heard Falbert's voice from behind. Falbert, you're here? Lin Yi turned around and saw Falbert and Grandma's son standing in the mansion. Yeah, I went to an event with Mr. Chu last night and couldn't come. I came early this morning. Mr. Chu is here too. He's upstairs talking to Miss Chu. Falbert said, I heard from Luo Yin that you have something to talk to me about. Yeah, there's something I need to talk to you and Grandma Sunday. Lin Yi nodded and said, let's go to my room. Okay. Falbert didn't think that Lin Yi would have to hide something from others. Normally, they could talk in the living room since Pengzhan went upstairs. But Lin Yi said to go to his room. It was a secret. Lin Yi, Falbert, and Grandma's son went to his room. Lin Yi sat on the bed while Falbert and Grandma's son sat on the sofa in Lin Yi's room. Lin Yi gave each of them a bottle of water and said, I'll tell you this. You have to be mentally prepared. Mentally prepared? Falbert paused. He didn't think that Lin Yi would start with this. Xiao Yi, what happened? Falbert, your sect is located in the Wulonghout Mountains, right? Lin Yi didn't answer Falbert's question but asked instead. Oh. Falbert's eyes widened and looked at Lin Yi in disbelief. Xiao Yi, how did you know? I don't think I've told you about this before. Chapter 23:35. So, it's true. Lin Yi had already guessed that Falbert's sect was destroyed in Wulonghout Mountains, but seeing Falbert admit it himself, Lin Yi still sighed. So, the world was just this small. That's right. Falbert nodded, since you asked, I won't deny it. I didn't tell you before because I was afraid that you would be impulsive or leak the news. But Xiao Yi, how did you know about this place? A while ago, I went out. Do you know where I went? Lin Yi asked. Of course I know you went out. Luo Yin told me on the phone, but where you went, how would I know? Li Fu was a bit puzzled. Lin Yi's sudden change in topic was too big, jumping from the previous topic to this one. Wulonghout Mountains. Lin Yi nodded and said seriously. What? You went to Wulonghout Mountains? That's near Rielida town. Why did you go there? Falbert was shocked after hearing Lin Yi's words. Why did you go there? I have to go back to a few months ago. I brought Xiao Xiao to the extreme north to seek medical help and participate in the Ice Palace's trial. Lin Yi knew that this couldn't be explained in one go. He had to start from the beginning. Although Lin Yi had told Falbert, Miss Shu, and the others about the Ice Palace trial, he didn't tell them about the heaven-ranked monster. First, Lin Yi didn't think it was important. Second, Lin Yi didn't plan on keeping the map for himself. He just wanted to keep it safe for the monster, so he didn't mention this topic. But it was different now. He had to start from the first time he met the monster. Oh. What does it have to do with the Ice Palace trial? Falbert asked curiously. Just as Lin Yi thought, Falbert knew about the Ice Palace trial. After the Ice Palace trial ended, some things happened. It wasn't important at the time, so I didn't talk about it. But it has a lot to do with this matter, so I have to start from the beginning. Lin Yi said and told Falbert about the heaven-ranked monster in the cave. At first, Falbert heard Lin Yi say that there was a heaven-ranked monster in the cave. He was a bit confused. But when he heard Lin Yi say that the monster called him Li Er and said something about escaping, Falbert's body suddenly trembled and he exclaimed, exclamation point. After that, he gave me half of the map. Lin Yi smiled bitterly and took out the half of the map and gave it to Falbert. It seemed like his guess was right, Falbert was that Li Er. Little E, the heaven-ranked monster you met is mine, it's definitely mine. Falbert took Lin Yi's map with trembling hands and looked at it. He said with more certainty, that's right, this map is the treasure map of the Wulonghout mountain range. Back then, I also had half of it. Sun Luoyue was at a loss, because she couldn't remember the past. However, she also felt Uncle Fu's strange emotions. She silently hugged his arm, as if she was comforting him and cheering for him. Before this, I didn't know that you two were related and didn't think in this direction. So, please forgive me for not telling you this, said Lin Yi. Little E, you didn't do anything wrong. Instead, I have to thank you for helping me and relieving the pain of my headache. Falbert waved his hand and said solemnly, also, since this map was given to you, it proves that you and him are fated. This is your fortune, this is the origin of this half of the map, said Lin Yi. Huh? Yeah, this is only half of the map. You went to the Wulonghout mountain range to look for treasure? This half of the map is useless? Falbert suddenly thought of this problem and asked curiously, the other half of the map, you probably don't have it, I probably don't have it, but just before I went to the Wulonghout mountain range, I accidentally found the other half of the map. This is also the reason why I went to the Wulonghout mountain range, said Lin Yi. The other half of the map? Falbert suddenly stood up. The excitement made his words a little shaky. You. Where did you find the other half of the map? On a person's body. Lin Yi said, Falbert, I went to the Wulonghout mountain range with another person. Grandma's son should know who this person is. Who? Falbert was stunned. Sun Luoyue just said that Lin Yi went out with a friend. Where and with whom, Falbert didn't ask. At this moment, he turned to look at Grandma's son and asked. Sun Jingyi of the Sun family should be considered a relative of mine. Grandma's son didn't know the hidden story and said truthfully. Sun Jingyi. What? It's her? After hearing this, Falbert was stunned. Tears couldn't help but flow from his eyes. This was a kind of happiness that was hard to describe. It was the feeling and happiness of surviving a disaster. Xiao Yi, what do you want to say? Sun Jingyi has a jade pendant, and the map was taken from the jade pendant. Lin Yi said, and, this time, in the Wulonghout mountain range, I met the Heaven Ranker again. One time, when the Heaven Ranker woke up, he suddenly realized that I wasn't Lear and wanted to harm me. But when Sun Jingyi stopped him, the Heaven Ranker said that she was you, so he let me go. I think Falbert should understand who she is. This is also the reason why I'm looking for you in private. Luoyue, Jingyi is our daughter. Falbert held Sun Luoyue's hand excitedly and said very happily, so, our daughter didn't die and returned to the Sun family. She really didn't die. No wonder, when I first saw her, I felt that she was very familiar. I thought it was because she was a relative, but I didn't expect that she was our daughter. At this time, Sun Luoyue was also a little confused. Although she didn't remember the past, she still knew that she had a daughter who was killed by the enemy. When she thought about it, she would be sad, but she didn't expect that her daughter didn't die. Not dead, and it's still Sun Jingyi? Sun Luoyue was very surprised, and an expression of disbelief appeared on her face, but it was quickly replaced by a happy smile. No matter what, whether she remembered or not, it was always a good thing that her daughter didn't die. Chapter 23:36. Aside from that, we also discovered that so-called precious treasure of your sect. Lin Yi didn't give Falbert too much time to react. It's a strange white stone. What? You've even found the treasure? Where is it now? Falbert looked at Lin Yi with shock and excitement, but then Falbert shook his head. I'm sorry, Lin Yi, I was too excited. You found the treasure, so it should be yours. You didn't even say anything, so of course I won't ask for it back. It's gone even if you wanted it. I gave it to someone else. Lin Yi smiled and shrugged. Gave it to someone else? Falbert was shocked. Lin Yi took it for himself, so Falbert wouldn't say anything. But giving it to someone else made Falbert's heart ache. Who did you give it to? That thing is very precious. I gave it to Sun Jingyi. Lin Yi said. She went back to House Sun to use it. Huh? Falbert paused and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Are you trying to scare me to death? I say, Lin Yi, what kind of gift is that? She's not an outsider, is she? Huh? Lin Yi laughed. Right, does Jingyi know about this? Falbert suddenly asked. Nope. That's why I told you guys in private. It was all my suspicions and guesses. Jingyi doesn't know. Lin Yi shook his head. Because this is too complicated, and the enemy is too strong. I don't want her to know too much. She'll worry. That's why I came back to tell you guys. As for whether or not to tell her, it's up to you guys. Complicated? The enemy is too strong? Falbert paused and looked at Lin Yi. Enemy? What enemy? I fought with the people who destroyed your sect. Lin Yi told Falbert and Grandma's son about what happened in Wulonghout Mountains. What? You fought with them? Falbert listened to Lin Yi's story and was shocked. He thought that Lin Yi went to Wulonghout Mountains to find the treasure according to the map. He didn't expect Lin Yi to have a life and death battle with the enemy. When he heard that Lin Yi and the Heaven Ranker worked together to kill an early-stage Heaven Ranker, Falbert was shocked. Thinking about Lin Yi and Sun Jingyi's dangerous journey, Falbert was worried for them. However, it was a close shave. In the end, they still came back. Lin Yi didn't hide anything. He told them about the Fire Lion clan and the Spider clan. He didn't even hide the fact that he went to the Tagan family and stole the refining method of the essence necklace. How is this close shave? Falbert breathed a sigh of relief. Little Yi, thank you. Thank you for protecting Jingyi along the way. I owe you another favor. Falbert, we're family. With our relationship, it's a bit like an outsider. Lin Yi waved his hand. Moreover, Sun Jingyi and I are also very good friends. Lin Yi couldn't help but blush. He and Sun Jingyi seemed to be lovers. There wasn't anything in the past. Falbert also knew about this relationship. But it was different now. Sun Jingyi was Falbert's daughter. If he and Sun Jingyi had something, how would he explain it to Falbert? So thinking about this, Lin Yi felt awkward and had a headache. He could only define their relationship as good friends. When Peng Zhan was hospitalized, Falbert knew that Lin Yi, Sun Jingyi, and Ling Shan had an ambiguous relationship. Otherwise, the two wouldn't be going to the hospital all the time. Falbert didn't think too much about it then, and he didn't think too much about it now. Jingyi wasn't raised by me and Luoyue, so I don't have the right to interfere with her decisions. As long as she's happy, it's fine. Lin Yi could only smile bitterly. He quickly changed the topic. Right, should we tell Jingyi? Don't tell her for now. Falbert sighed and shook his head. Although I really want to reunite with her, you said that the enemy is too strong. If I reunite with her, not only will it bring trouble to her, but it will also bring trouble to me and Luoyue. At that time, the trouble will definitely be transferred to you. So, for the sake of caution, it's better not to think too much. That's true, but isn't it a bit unfair to Jingyi? Lin Yi could see Sun Jingyi's loneliness and desolation. It had to do with her family background that her uncle didn't care for her, and her grandmother didn't love her. She didn't have parents since she was young, and House Sun didn't value her that much. If possible, it would be a good thing to let Sun Jingyi know about her parents. However, Falbert's concerns were also Lin Yi's concerns. Sun Jingyi showed her true face in front of Tag Onlong. It was hard to guarantee that they wouldn't investigate Sun Jingyi's background. However, if they found out that she was from the Sun family, they could only suspect that she was a relative of Sun Luoyue. They wouldn't suspect that she was Sun Luoyue's daughter, since her surname was Sun. This was the same as Lin Yi didn't consider this before. He walked into the mistake of looking alike between relatives. Even if the Tag Onlong family found Sun Jingyi, there wouldn't be any flaws if Sun Jingyi didn't reunite with Falbert and Grandma Sunday. They couldn't implicate Falbert and Grandma Sunday. The enemy was too strange and powerful, so there was nothing wrong with being careful. However, Tag Onlong had to wake up first. Among the people who had seen Sun Jingyi, Razi had run away. No one from the Tag Onlong family knew where Sun Jingyi was. It wouldn't be easy to find her with just a painting. This is indeed not fair, but there's no other way. If we get involved, Luoyue and I will be in danger. After all, Luoyue doesn't have any strength, and my strength isn't enough to protect them. Falbert sighed. That's fine. We'll talk about this later. Lin Yi nodded. As for strength, we'll slowly increase it. Here's a small qi gathering pill. Falbert, take it and upgrade yourself to the early phase of Earth class first. Small qi gathering pill? For me? Falbert was slightly stunned. He excitedly took the small qi gathering pill from Lin Yi. This thing wasn't a good thing in the ancient sects, but in Falbert's hands, it was a miracle medicine. Chapter 23:37. But now, it was different. This elixir could help him return to Earth class, and although it wasn't as stable as the treasure, he could slowly stabilize it. He wasn't in a hurry to get revenge. The hidden house pie has some, I'm coming over, give one to everyone around me, Lin Yi said. Then I won't hold back. Falbert nodded and put the elixir away, preparing to use it when he got back. Right, Falbert, have you heard about the essence necklace? Lin Yi wanted to ask Falbert about it. I don't know, I was quite curious when you told me. I didn't know that the essence core of a spirit beast could be used to make this kind of necklace. Uncle Fu shook his head and said, however, it's useless even if you know about it. Spiritual beast inner cores are very rare, and most spiritual beasts will choose a secluded place to die when they die. It won't be easy for people to find their corpses and inner cores, so you're quite lucky to have found 2 inner cores. It seems like most people don't know about this secret. House Tagan is getting more and more complicated. Lin Yi sighed. As they were talking, they suddenly heard footsteps coming from the stairs outside. Lin Yi and Falbert were both practitioners, and naturally, they sensed it immediately. They looked at each other and stopped talking. Let's go take a look, Mr. Chu might be coming down, Falbert stood up and said. Okay. Lin Yi's matter was finished, and there was no need to worry about the rest. Sun Jingyi's identity could wait, there was no rush. Lin Yi, Falbert, and Grandma's son left the room and saw Pengzhan coming down with Meng Yao and Yushu. Lin Yi, Falbert, and Grandma's son also came out of the room. Pengzhan paused. You guys finished talking too? Yes. It's not a big deal. I just found some old clues and wanted to tell them about it. Lin Yi nodded and said, Uncle Chu. Would you like to stay for lunch? Okay, we haven't had a meal together as a family for a long time. You and Yao Yao are in university now. We used to eat together on the weekends. Pengzhan nodded. Mr. Chu, our company will soon set up a branch in East Ocean City, and we will be able to see each other often. Falbert said quickly. That's true. Pengzhan said. But here in Donghai, there are many hidden dragons and crouching tigers. There are too many strong competitors, and they're completely different from Songshan. It won't be easy to get a foothold here. Lin Yi nodded. He didn't know a thing about business, so he had no say in this matter. He couldn't ask Pengzhan to tell him, after all. Who were their competitors? And then he would go and kill it? This completely violated the normal order of business competition, and Lin Yi would never do such a thing. Daddy. I believe you and Falbert can do it. Meng Yao encouraged as she held Pengzhan's hand. Let's hope so. Pengzhan said, but he wasn't very optimistic. In the beginning, he was ambitious. He wanted to move the company to the provincial capital to achieve his next goal of taking off. He wanted to double the size of the company. This was the dream of him and his father, Chu Sanhua. Mr. Lin, should we go out for lunch or should I cook? Grandma's son asked. Let's go out, let's go together. It's too troublesome with so many people. Lin Yi said. Okay. Grandma's son nodded. I'll get changed and get ready. 10 minutes later, Lin Yi drove Meng Yao and Yushu in his jeep, and Falbert drove Grandma's son and Pengzhan in his Bentley. The 6 of them headed to one of the biggest restaurants in Donghai, Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant. Zhang Duopan had treated them here last time, and they almost didn't have enough money to pay the bill. Pengzhan, on the other hand, didn't have that problem. With Pengzhan's status, he didn't care about money at all. Of course, Lin Yi had a lot of money as well, but it was all Fatty Lie's real estate. He couldn't use it. Lin Yi and Falbert parked the car, and the group got out. They were about to walk into the restaurant when a Rolls-Royce Ghost stopped right next to Falbert's Bentley. A balding middle-aged man got out of the car, holding a woman in his arms. He smiled when he saw Pengzhan. Isn't this Mr. Chu? You're not a businessman from Donghai, coming to Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant to eat? TSK, what a country bumpkin. Pengzhan frowned slightly and said faintly, Mr. Lei, where I bring my family to eat, are you going to interfere? Isn't that a little too much? Too much. I'm just reminding you out of goodwill, Mr. Chu. Songshan isn't a provincial city, it's different from a provincial city. Just like this restaurant, not everyone can come here. The fatty called Mr. Lei laughed. The chairman of this Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant is my friend, and also a member of our merchant association. Mr. Chu, it's best if you don't eat here, it'll be unpleasant. Are you threatening me? Pengzhan was a little annoyed. He was just here for a meal, and this Lei Tianming was the chairman of Donghai Merchant Association. When he wanted to move the company to Donghai, this Lei Tianming had gathered many people from the Merchant Association to stop him, making it difficult for Pengzhan's plans in Donghai. What he didn't expect was that he couldn't stop eating here, and even Lei Tianming wanted to interfere. It's not really a threat, I said it was a kind reminder. Lei Tianming smiled. All right, I'm going to eat, Mr. Chu. With that, Lei Tianming hugged the flirtatious woman and walked arrogantly towards the Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant. Lin Yi frowned. It wasn't easy for the family to come out for a meal, and this baldy ruined the mood. If it wasn't for the fact that Lin Yi saw him as a normal person, he would have killed him a long time ago. However, Lin Yi wasn't going to let him go just like that. He looked at Shu, and Shu immediately understood what Lin Yi meant. She cooperated and asked, Uncle Chu, who is this idiot? Pfft. Ahem. Meng Yao didn't know whether to laugh or cry at Yushu's words. This girl was really fierce, scolding people directly. However, Meng Yao also knew that this was Lin Yi's idea. Lin Yi was probably very annoyed with this Lei Tianming. Otherwise, with Lin Yi's personality, he wouldn't let Shu start a fight. Chapter 2338. Little bastard, who are you calling an idiot? Lei Daming turned around before Meng Yao could reply, his face dark as he stared at Yushu. Don't think you can be brainless just because you're big. Anyone who dares say something like that in front of me, Lei Daming, is either dead or out of Donghai. Shield bro, this person really is an idiot. Yushu said as she looked at Lei Daming with pity. Pengzhan, are these your children? How uncultured. You're already so old, don't get dragged down by your children and end up with no one to rely on. Lei Daming threatened. Make them kneel down and kowtow to me twice before kicking out of Donghai. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving. Pengzhan, naturally, wasn't stupid. He could tell that Yushu was acting under Lin Yi's orders. He couldn't help but sigh. He didn't want to tell Lin Yi and his daughter about this, wanting to solve it himself. But now that Lin Yi had intervened, things could be resolved. Wouldn't that make him look useless? Pengzhan didn't think that Lei Daming had the ability to do anything to Lin Yi, not just him, even the noble houses and hidden houses had been trampled over by Lin Yi all the same. Lei Daming was just a normal businessman. What could he do even if he was the chairman of a merchant guild? Uncle Chu, this person is mentally ill. Don't interact with people like him when doing business in Donghai. It's inevitable that you'll become mentally ill. Lin Yi ignored Lei Daming and turned to Pengzhan. Let's go eat. I'll make a call and introduce you to a few people from Donghai. You guys. Good, very good. Pengzhan, are you sure you want to eat here? Lei Daming was furious. Although he had a high status in East Ocean City, his company wasn't the biggest in the city. But he was the chairman of a merchant guild in Donghai. It was a non-governmental organization, but being able to become the chairman of a merchant guild in such a short amount of time meant that he had a strong backing. In Donghai, Lei Daming was someone who could do whatever he wanted. As long as he was wary of those he couldn't mess with, he didn't care about anyone else. However, Lei Daming's words sounded like he was talking to himself. Lin Yi didn't bother with him at all, walking into the restaurant with Pengzhan and the others with their chests puffed out, talking on the phone as they walked. Come to the Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant. I have a senior who wants to do business in East Ocean City. You can come and visit him. Lin Yi made the call. He said to Han Xiaopa. Okay, boss, I'll be right there. Han Xiaopa quickly nodded. In fact, speaking of visiting. But it was because this person was Lin Yi's elder, Han Xiaopa understood. Lin Yi had asked him to come so that the hidden house of Han could take care of Pengzhan in Donghai. The hidden house of Han was different from the hidden house of Zhao, as they kept a low profile and didn't have any businesses in Donghai. House Zhao, on the other hand, started building businesses in Donghai after testing the Hidden House Association to no avail, starting to make money in the common world. But the Hidden House Han's position was there, and as long as word got out that Pengzhan was related to them, as long as Pengzhan didn't go against the Hidden House Zhao in Donghai, the name of the Hidden House Han would be very useful. The Hidden House of Han kept a low profile and didn't do business because they didn't want the other hidden houses to worry about them, but now that they'd torn all pretenses at the Hidden House Summit, they didn't care anymore, especially when it came to helping Lin Yi. Of course, even if Pengzhan went against the Hidden House of Zhao, Lin Yi would take care of it himself, and it wasn't something the Hidden House could worry about. And so, Han Xiaopa drove to the Arctic Ocean Seafood Restaurant as soon as he received the call. Lin Yi and the others went into the Northern Ice Sea Seafood Restaurant and booked a private room. They ordered some food and wine before going inside. About what happened just now. Pengzhan said after entering the room, Li Fu and I wanted to take care of it ourselves. It wasn't a big deal, after all. That person was just colluding with some merchants in Donghai to put pressure on Pengzhan Industries. I didn't want to trouble you. Haha, Uncle Chu, I'm the second largest shareholder of Pengzhan Industries. Are you trying to kick me out? Lin Yi smiled. He could see that Pengzhan was in trouble, but he didn't think too much about it, thinking that it was just a normal business competition. But now, it seemed like that wasn't the case at all. This Lei Daming was completely targeting Pengzhan, and Lin Yi, naturally, didn't want Pengzhan to waste his time on him. Wasn't it a competition of who was more capable? That would be great. He could call the Hidden Han family, the local tyrant of the Eastern Sea, over to suppress him. How is that possible? Pengzhan smiled. I'm already old, and Pengzhan Industries will belong to you and Yao Yao in the future. But if you didn't mention it, I would have forgotten that you're still a board member of the company. You have the responsibility to contribute to the company. Lin Yi paused. Pengzhan's words seemed to imply that he had the heart to give Pengzhan Industries to him and the miss in the future. Although with Lin Yi's current wealth, he didn't need to care about these things, but when Lin Yi first came to Songshan, Pengzhan's words hinted at this. The miss, naturally, understood the hidden meaning in her father's words. She blushed and lowered her head, not daring to look at Lin Yi. Oh, Yao Yao, Uncle Chu really is looking for Shield Bro as a son-in-law. Prophet Shu is amazing, he predicted it long ago. Yushu said happily. It's not like we're looking for a son-in-law for you, why are you so happy? Meng Yao was even more embarrassed by Yushu's words. She glared at Yushu and said angrily, don't worry about it. You're the main wife, so I'm the second wife. Yao Yao, don't tell me you've forgotten. Yushu said with a serious face. Ha. Pengzhan laughed. He wasn't unhappy that Yushu and his daughter were fighting over a man, but he was happy that the sisters could be together forever. His father, third brother Chu, said that a man like Lin Yi wouldn't be tied down by a woman. Pengzhan didn't understand why his father was so sure, but his father's foresight was very accurate. Falbert and Grandma's son looked at each other speechlessly. They both saw a trace of happiness in each other's eyes. What was the relationship between Sun Jingyi and Lin Yi in the past? Was she Lin Yi's lover? Was she competing with the miss? It had nothing to do with Falbert or Grandma Sunday. They could only say that Sun Jingyi was their relative. Chapter 2339. But things were different now. Sun Jingyi had become their daughter. Falbert would be in a tough spot if they were to fight for a man with Meng Yao. On one side was his biological daughter, on the other side was the miss who wasn't even his biological daughter, but was more like one. Plus, Pengzhan, who had taken him in. Falbert was in a tough spot. But it seemed like Pengzhan wasn't against it, and since Meng Yao could accept Tang Yun and Xiao Xiao, she might be able to accept Sun Jingyi as well. This made Falbert breathe a sigh of relief. The family was talking happily when the door of the private room was pushed open. They thought it was the waiter who came to serve the dishes, but the person who came in was not a waiter, but a person who looked like a lobby manager. I'm sorry, everyone. Our chairman just called, saying that you are unwelcome guests of the Arctic Sea Seafood Restaurant. Please leave. As soon as the lobby manager came in, he didn't wait for anyone to ask and said this in a neutral tone. Pengzhan didn't think that Lei Daming would actually do something like this. Pressuring the chairman of the restaurant to send someone to ask Pengzhan to leave was a very humiliating action, but it was also very sinister. Even business competitors wouldn't do something like this. Not only would it make people think that Lei Daming was being sinister, but it also meant that there was no room for negotiation between Pengzhan and Lei Daming. What kind of restaurant is this? What rule says that you can ask a guest to leave? Pengzhan had a restaurant in Songshan as well, but he'd never done something like this before. Even if it was a competitor, he'd treat them well. Our chairman's words are the rules. The manager said faintly. If you guys don't leave, we'll have to ask the security department to step in. The chairman said that we'll use diplomacy before force. We hope that you guys can make your choice quickly. Threat. This was a blatant threat. Pengzhan felt that this Lei Daming was going overboard. This wasn't business at all, it was like a mafia boss. After the manager's words, there was an awkward silence. Pengzhan felt like a scholar meeting a soldier. Lin Yi, on the other hand, frowned and was about to speak. However, before he could speak, someone else spoke. Boss, I'm here. Han Xiaopa rushed into the room at that moment, but he didn't seem to notice the awkward atmosphere in the room. Instead, he chattered incessantly to Lin Yi, I'm sorry, I've been rushing all the way here. It's just that this restaurant is a little far from my house. Hee hee, in order to express my apology, I'm sorry. My treat. Treat? There's no need to invite me. You've come for nothing. All of you are not welcome by our chairman. You can leave now. The lobby manager was a little amused. This person didn't even know what was going on here and still wanted to treat them? Question mark. Han Xiaopo was stunned. Only then did he realize that the person in front of him was not wearing a waiter's uniform. It was the uniform of the lobby manager, and the next moment, he also noticed that the atmosphere in the private room was not quite right, and Lin Yi was frowning. Fuck me. Who is the chairman of this restaurant? Han Xiaopo was truly shocked. Was there something wrong with this person's brain? He even dared to chase away Lin Yi? What do you mean you're not welcome here? Of course, the boss didn't need to do anything about this. As a follower, Han Xiaopo could take care of it. The hidden Han family had always kept a low profile. However, it didn't mean that Han Xiaopo would keep a low profile because of what happened to Lin Yi. How dare this person tell him that they were all unwelcome guests? Who do you think you are? Han Xiaopo said angrily. Huh? The lobby manager's eyes widened. He didn't expect this person to be more arrogant than he was. Tell your chairman that my name is Han Xiaopo, and I'm from the hidden Han family of East Ocean. If he doesn't welcome me, I don't welcome him either. Get the hell out of East Ocean City tomorrow. My family will take over his hotel and properties. Han Xiaopo's voice wasn't loud, but it was intimidating. The hidden Han family of East Ocean had this confidence. Although they had been keeping a low profile all these years, they weren't afraid of trouble. They could tolerate other things, but they couldn't allow insulting their boss. Hidden Han family? The lobby manager was stunned. Although he didn't have the ability to reach that level, as the lobby manager of the most luxurious restaurant in East Ocean City, he had heard of the two big families in East Ocean City, the hidden Zhao family and the hidden Han family. These two giants were not to be messed with. Therefore, the lobby manager's face changed. The hidden Han family. He couldn't stay calm when he heard this. He didn't immediately show the arrogance he had when he entered the private room. He directly said, "Sorry, I went to the wrong room." Then, he ran away with his tail between his legs and went to call the chairman with a long face. Although the lobby manager vaguely knew that the chairman had some power and background, it seemed that he didn't have much power and background. Therefore, he wisely chose to swallow his anger. President Zhao. The lobby manager dialed the number of Guangxi Group's chairman, Zhao Guangxi, who was behind the Arctic Ocean seafood restaurant. Oh, how is it? Did you finish what I asked you to do? Zhao Guangxi asked. President Zhao, it's bad. People from the hidden Han family are here. They say their name is Han Xiaopo. He's with the person in the private room that you wanted to kick out. The lobby manager said with a bitter face. As soon as he came, he shouted that you should get out of East Ocean City. He said that his family will take over your business. What? People from the hidden Han family? Why are they here? Zhao Guangxi was shocked when he heard the lobby manager's words. He didn't expect people from the hidden Han family to interfere. Didn't the hidden Han family not do business? How did he get involved in this matter this time? Zhao Guangxi suddenly had a headache. If it was before, he naturally wouldn't be afraid of this hidden Han family. On one hand, he and the young master of the hidden Zhao family, Zhao Guangyin, were relatives. He was considered a peripheral business member of the Zhao family. He gave a lot of money to the hidden Zhao family every year, so the hidden Zhao family would naturally support him. On the other hand, before the Hidden House Summit, the Hidden House Han was still a small and weak family. They were the target that all the big hidden houses wanted to divide. However, after the Hidden House Summit, the situation suddenly changed. The Hidden House Han miraculously gained a stable foothold, and the Hidden House Zhao seemed to be afraid of them and didn't suppress them as much as before. Although Zhao Guangxi, as a peripheral member, didn't know the inside story, He knew that the hidden house Han wasn't someone to be messed with. Besides, he was now completely marginalized by the hidden Zhao family. Because of his son, Zhao Fafa, he was dragged into this mess. Chapter 2346, Elder Bai goes out because of Zhao Qibing's words. Zhao Guangxi was kicked out of Songshan and came to East Ocean City to do business. Of course, since he continued to give Zhao Guanyin a large sum of money every month to the hidden Zhao family, he quickly gained a foothold in East Ocean City. However, he was no longer able to go to a higher level. The hidden Zhao family chose a new business spokesperson. This person was the chairman of East Ocean Commerce, Lei Daming. Just now, it was Lei Daming's order to chase them away. Naturally, he couldn't go against Lei Daming's request. After all, he and Lei Daming were on the same side. It seemed like he had kicked an iron board. He had to make it clear to Lei Daming that the hidden house Han had to be suppressed by the hidden Zhao family. However, Zhao Guangxi didn't have the ability to ask the hidden Zhao family to come out, but Lei Daming could. I understand. Don't do anything rash. Just serve them the food and don't show yourself. I'll arrange for someone else to go. Zhao Guangxi said. Yes, Mr. Zhao. The manager quickly replied. After putting down the phone, Zhao Guangxi couldn't wait to call Lei Daming. Mr. Zhao, is it done? Lei Daming was eating at the Northern Ice Seafood Restaurant. He thought that it was done after receiving Zhao Guangxi's call. As far as he was concerned, this wasn't a big deal at all. Zhao Guangxi was the boss of this place. If he didn't serve a table of customers, then so be it. What could Chu Pengzhan do? Done what, Mr. Lei? You've screwed me over. They have a backer too. Since Zhao Guangxi was related to Zhao Guanyin, he wouldn't be too humble in front of Lei Daming. He cried and complained. They invited someone from the hidden Han family. His name is Han Xiaopa, and I couldn't hold him back anymore. Not only did Han Xiaopa threaten me to get out of East Ocean City, but he also wanted me to take away all my businesses. Mr. Lei, you can't just ignore this. Hidden House Han. How are they related to Chu Pengzhan? Lei Daming frowned, confused. Alright, don't worry about it. I'll report it to the boss. The boss Lei Daming was talking about was naturally Zhao Guanyin of the hidden house Zhao. Lei Daming was his spokesperson, and the main reason why Lei Daming didn't want Pengzhan to enter the East Ocean market was because Pengzhan's business overlapped too much with Lei Daming's. Pengzhan's business overlapped too much with Lei Daming's. Hotels, shopping malls, real estate, all of them were profitable projects. If Pengzhan were to come, he'd have to take responsibility for Guanyin's actions. Lei Daming's business would be affected, and if Guanyin were to blame him, he'd have to take responsibility. So, Lei Daming didn't feel like he was in the wrong. He called Guanyin, "Boss, there's trouble." What trouble? Guanyin's attitude towards Lei Daming wasn't bad. This Lei Daming had been doing very well in East Ocean City ever since he was supported. He brought House Zhao a lot of profits every month, and there was a lot of sustainable profits as well. Guanyin had high hopes for him. I told you before, I've teamed up with the local merchants in East Ocean City to force an outsider out of business, not letting him do business in East Ocean City. After all, his business overlaps with ours. Lei Daming explained the situation clearly, proving that he wasn't doing this for personal grudges against the hidden house Han. Yes, I know. Does this outsider have a background? Guanyin quickly connected the dots. That's right, someone from the hidden house Han came to support them. Lei Daming nodded. The person is called Han Xiaopa. What? The hidden house Han's Han Xiaopa is the outsider's backer? Guanyin froze. Didn't the hidden house Han not do business? Could it be that after the hidden house summit, the hidden house Han had bared their fangs and were preparing to do business for money? That's right. Today's incident was like this. Lei Daming didn't hide anything. He told Guangxi about how he met the outsider at the Arctic Ocean seafood restaurant and how he made Guangxi embarrass him. You did the right thing. Guanyin nodded. Lei Daming was arrogant, but he was doing this for the sake of the Hidden House Zhao's business. Therefore, Guanyin had to stand up for him. Moreover, even if this didn't happen, the Hidden Zhao family couldn't take it lying down. After the Hidden Family Summit, the Hidden Han family was no longer as cautious and low-key as before. Instead, they began to move around in the East Ocean City and made their voices heard. It seemed like they wanted to compete with the Hidden Zhao family. At the Hidden House Summit, the Hidden House Han used their relationship with Lin Yi to make the Hidden House Zhao feel bad. After Lin Yi left, the Hidden House Han was still jumping around and even supporting an outsider. Zhao Guanyin couldn't tolerate this. If he gave in this time, he believed that the Hidden House Han would take advantage of him and make it worse. Therefore, he had to kill their ambition as soon as they showed their fangs. "Boss, what should we do now?" Lei Daming asked carefully. "Isn't it just Han Xiaopa?" Guanyin smiled coldly. "He really thinks he's someone important. Don't worry, I'll let Qibing and Elder Bai come and teach this arrogant bastard a lesson. Does he really think that the Hidden House Han can compete with the Hidden House Zhao? He's overestimating his own strength." "That's great." Lei Daming was overjoyed. He didn't think that Guanyin would send Zhao Qibing, the heir of the Hidden House Zhao, and Elder Bai, the core member of the Hidden House Zhao. "Just you wait, they'll be here soon." Guanyin couldn't control Elder Bai, but he could control Qibing. If Qibing went, Elder Bai, as his master, had to go as well. After all, Han Xiaopa was an Earth-class early phase. If Han Xiaopa made a move, then Qibing would be at a disadvantage. But if Elder Bai went, the situation would be different. Elder Bai wouldn't just sit and watch, and Han Xiaopa wouldn't dare make a move. "Yes, thank you, boss," Lei Daming said quickly. In Lin Yi's room, Han Xiaopa closed the door unhappily and walked to Lin Yi with a smile. "Boss, what's going on?" Chapter 2340. Did that Lei Daming talk to the owner of this restaurant? Han Xiaopa didn't know who Lei Daming was. The Hidden Han family didn't do business, so he naturally didn't care who the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce was. However, that didn't mean he could tolerate this chairman bullying Lin Yi's elder. East Ocean was considered the territory of the Hidden Han family. If Lin Yi's elder was bullied here, how could Han Xiaopa, as Lin Yi's little brother, endure it? Thinking of this, Han Xiaopa patted his chest and said, "Boss, leave this to me. I promise I'll take care of it. Isn't it just Lei Daming? I'll talk to Grandpa and tell this person to behave." "Okay, do as you see fit." Lin Yi nodded. "Uncle Chu, don't worry. Boss doesn't need to do anything about these small fries. I'll take care of them." Han Xiaopa said, "Let me find out who this Lei Daming is and then come up with a countermeasure." "No need to find out. He's here again." Lin Yi suddenly interrupted Han Xiaopa and said lightly. "Again?" Han Xiaopa was a little anxious. This was East Ocean City, and the Hidden Han family was considered half the owner. How dare this Lei Daming come again? Han Xiaopa was about to explode. He suddenly stood up and said to Lin Yi, "Boss, leave it to me. I'll go deal with him." "Okay." Lin Yi nodded and said, "Be careful." Han Xiaopa walked out of the private room and saw the lobby manager, a balding man, and an old man and a young man rushing toward him. The lobby manager, who was a little weak before, was now like a big rooster, with his head held high and his chest out. Han Xiaopa didn't know the balding man, so he was probably Lei Daming. However, Han Xiaopa couldn't be more familiar with the old man and the young man behind him. Seeing them appear, Han Xiaopa couldn't help but frown. It was really a small world for enemies. As both hidden families of East Ocean, the Hidden Han family and the Hidden Zhao family naturally didn't see eye to eye with each other, especially after the previous Hidden Family Summit. The two families were like fire and water. "Han Xiaopa, why don't you just stay at home?" Have you learned to stand up for others? Qibing didn't like Han Xiap. He broke his leg in the first match and never had the chance to scold him. Now that he had the chance, and with Elder Bai beside him, he wasn't afraid of Han Xiaopa anymore. Zhao Qibing. Is your leg better? Han Xiaopa, on the other hand, looked at Qibing's sprinting legs mockingly. Looks like you're in a rush to get here because you're looking for a break. Han Xiaopa, I've given you a bit of sunshine, and you think you're beaming? Previously, with Lin Yi by your side, I didn't dare to touch you. But now, who do you think you are? You're just a dog of Lin Yi's. You don't even know what's wrong with you. You don't even have any skills and yet you're trying to act cool. Han Xiaopa had hit Zhao Qibing's soft spot. Let me tell you, if you know what's good for you, bring your men with you. Go back and tell your men not to get involved in Donghai's business. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. I'm really curious. You're just a mystic, right? What right do you have to talk to me like that? Han Xiaopa looked at Qibing with interest and said mockingly. Do you think you can fight someone stronger than you, boss? Level up by eating elixirs. Stop pretending. Qibing said in disdain. I'm not afraid to tell you that Master has already promised me, and gave me the elixir. It'll only be a matter of time before I catch up to you. It wasn't that House Zhao didn't have elixirs like spirit gathering elixirs and small qi gathering elixirs, it was just that they didn't have much in stock. If a house wanted to develop in the long run, they couldn't just give everything to their children, right? Even if Qibing's generation all became Earth-class early phase, what would happen to the 4th and 5th generation? What if they didn't get the elixirs and there was a gap in strength? Wouldn't House Zhao be kicked out of the ranks of the hidden houses? So, in the past few years, all the hidden houses had one principle, and that was to let their children level up by themselves. If they didn't have to use elixirs, then they would use them. Plus, not leveling up to Earth class had an advantage, and that was that they could enter and exit the common world as they pleased. But now, the Hidden House Association only existed in name, and there was no one to watch over the Earth class. After the rise of House Han, the children of the hidden houses were all greedy and prepared to train their children. So, all the elixirs that had been sealed away for a long time were taken out. In fact, other than House Yu, the other hidden houses didn't have many elixirs. They got them through all sorts of bets, exchanges, trials, and etiquettes. How could they just use them like that? But now, they were forced by the situation. If you didn't use it for others, you'd fall behind. So, House Zhao prepared to give elixirs to their children after the Hidden House Summit. Han Xiaopa looked at Elder Bai behind Qibing, and he was a little wary. Elder Bai was an Earth-class late-phase peak, and he wasn't someone Han Xiaopa could fight against. Elder Bai had been famous for a long time, and was one of the core members of House Zhao. He had the highest chance of stepping into Sky Class. Zhao Qibing, don't you think your hidden House Zhao is controlling us too much? You're interfering with everything? Han Xiaopa raged. I'm interfering with everything. What, bite me? Qibing knew that Han Xiaopa wouldn't dare do anything in front of Elder Bai, and so, in order to get back at him for breaking his leg, Qibing naturally kept on humiliating him. I'm telling you, without Lin Yi by your side, you're worse than a dog. Go back to House Han and hide. Which eye of yours saw that I'm not by his side? A cold voice sounded beside Qibing's ear. It wasn't loud, but it was like thunder, almost making him piss his pants. He shivered and raised his head in disbelief, looking at Lin Yi walking out of the room. His legs started cramping. Lin Yi boss. You're here too? Qibing's voice was shaking. He regretted it, cursing Lei Daming's 18 generations of ancestors in his heart. Couldn't he at least say his name? Would it kill him to say his name? If they'd known that this outsider was Lin Yi, Qibing and Guanyin would have told Lei Daming to give him a portion of the market. How could they mess with someone like that? Chapter 2341. In Lin Yi's eyes, these masters from the hidden houses were nothing but a joke after Lin Yi created the fiery Baghuazhang. They were much weaker than Tag and Long. This made Lin Yi realize that strength level didn't mean everything. In other words, strength level only represented the strength of a practitioner when they were on the same level. But if they were on a different level, then it was a completely different thing. The common house use boss Yu and the hidden house use earth class were on the same level, yes, but was it the same strength? Obviously not. And the hidden house's sky class early phase was the same as the ice palace's sky class early phase? Obviously not. The ice palace's sky class early phase was the same as the guards? Of course not. Using strength to judge a practitioner's strength became a joke when they were on a different level. The third head of the house was an earth class late phase peak, obviously much stronger than Elder Bai. But Tag and Long, an earth class early phase, was even stronger than the third head of the house. And so, after studying Elder Bai's aura, Lin Yi shook his head. He didn't make a move, but Elder Bai's strength couldn't be that high. Qibing looked at Lin Yi awkwardly, speechless. Aura. You're right about one thing, you're worse than a dog. I have a dog called General Weiwu in my house, and even that's stronger than you. Lin Yi said, break your own legs and get the hell out, I'll let this go. Qibing froze. He didn't think that Lin Yi would make a request like this. It wouldn't matter if it were any other time, but in front of Elder Bai, his Shifu, wasn't this a slap to Elder Bai's face? Would Elder Bai agree? The answer was obvious. Elder Bai opened his mouth and looked at Lin Yi coldly. Lin Yi, don't go too far. Could it be that you don't put me in your eyes? Although the Hidden Yu family didn't get a clear answer from the Heavenly Elixir sect, they knew something from the questioning tone of the Sky Silkworm transformation. Lin Yi's strength shouldn't be that strong. When the news reached the Hidden Zhao family, Old Master Zhao regretted not keeping Lin Yi. So Elder Bai thought that without the purple lightning beast's help, Lin Yi wasn't his opponent. Even if they fought, Lin Yi would at most be on par with him. And recently, Elder Bai had already touched the barrier of Sky Class. He was only half a step away from Sky Class. You're right. I really don't care about you. Lin Yi said faintly, as if he knew Elder Bai was going to help. Do you think I'm scared of you? Elder Bai humphed. One move, Lin Yi said lightly. What? Elder Bai paused, but then he thought of Zhao Guang'er and his face changed. At that time, Lin Yi, Zhao Guang'er, and the others said the same thing. I said, I only need one move to beat you. Lin Yi said, break Zhao Qibing's legs and take him away. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. After that, you don't have to leave. Lin Yi kiddo, do you really think I'm scared of you? Elder Bai was infuriated. He'd never been threatened like this before. As far as he was concerned, Lin Yi was strong on the stage of the Hidden House Summit, but he wasn't unbelievably strong. It was just that Lin Yi said that he could beat a Sky Class. Fiery 8 Trigram Palm, 5th form. 10 seconds passed, and Lin Yi made his move. He didn't hold back at all. He wanted to scare the small fry in Donghai, as well as the hidden houses that wanted to make a move. Back then, when he left the Hidden House Summit, Lin Yi was terrified, afraid that he'd be stopped if he wasn't careful. Lin Yi didn't say anything despite the doubts and suspicions of some people. But at this moment, Lin Yi used his self-created technique and fired the first shot of his counterattack. Since House Zhao was so arrogant, he could only step on their corpses. This trip to Wulonghout Mountains, Lin Yi felt more and more how weak he was. He didn't have time to fight with these hidden houses, so he had to start with the Hidden House Zhao, integrating the hidden house's strength into his own practitioners' association. At this moment, Lin Yi didn't have the ability to shake a giant like House Yu, but he could still make a move on House Zhao. All of this was because of this, and Lin Yi had wanted to take revenge for a long time. Back then, Zhao Guang, Yu Lu, and Yu Shisan teamed up to cause trouble, and they almost destroyed Lin Yi and Mrs. family. Lin Yi had been holding back this anger, It wasn't that he didn't want to take revenge, but it wasn't time yet. Lin Yi was a very rational person, and he would only fight with his life on the line when he was in danger. Under normal circumstances, Lin Yi wouldn't do something stupid like hitting a rock with an egg. Right now, Lin Yi didn't want to be enemies with the Hidden House Yu just yet. It was because of two people, Yu Bing and Yu Ning. It was hard for Lin Yi to kill them all. They were different from the common House Yu. House Yu, Lin Yi didn't have the strength to fight them at the moment. Not only did they have a lot of masters, but they also had a complicated relationship with the Sky Elixir sect. Most importantly, Lin Yi wanted to get more treasures from House Yu with Han Jingjing. Since they weren't enemies yet, he'd keep them for now. House Zhao was different, however. This Zhao Qibing had been going against him many times. From the start in Songshan, this little bastard had been jumping up and down. Not only did he order Sihua to attack Chu Pengzhan's company, but he also burned Yu Xiaoka's orphanage. Lin Yi wanted to kill him for a long time. Elder Bai didn't think that Lin Yi would suddenly make a move, but he wasn't panicking. He was an Earth-class late-phase peak, so why would he be afraid of Lin Yi? Plus, he had studied Lin Yi's fiery technique before. It wasn't very strong, and he had a high chance of winning in a head-on clash. And so, Elder Bai channeled his practitioner's arts without hesitation. He didn't dodge, but punched out, activating his technique, Majestic Fist, 10th form. Pfft. Lin Yi laughed. He didn't think that Elder Bai's technique was called Majestic Fist. Was it a joke? Evidently not. Looking at Elder Bai's serious face, Lin Yi knew that this was the Tyrant King's fist. Just from the name alone, it didn't sound like anything powerful. The 10th form, the 5th form of Fiery 8 Trigram Palm, was equivalent to the 11th form of a normal technique. Pack. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.